a half an hour till game time. Albion and Stevens Point. Brett, what are we looking at in today's matchup?
Just kind of looking at the formations that Stevens Point's kind of going through here. We were noticing pregame that they could be running a little bit of a wing T offense, but now they kind of go more to that spread look.
It's going to be a little different this year. They have some different staff in for coaching up the offense. They're going to be running more of a fast tempo type of style that we haven't seen the last couple of years.
Exactly, and Charlie Smith is getting the start today at quarterback, so we'll see how he does there. He did get a couple starts last year. He did all right, not the greatest, but we'll see if something changes. Carson Glossney, the sophomore, is in that 2 spot for quarterback, so we'll see if he ends up getting some reps. Then you have Drew Vinny as your 3rd QB. He's a freshman from Stoughton. So we were about 26 minutes away here from game time. Yep. Stevens Point going through warm-ups here. Still don't have their pads on, about 20 minutes away. Albion did come out and warm up. They had their full pads on, so we'll see when the Pointers go back in. Looks like it's just offensive scheme right now. Pointers will be back here next week against St. Norbert, and then they will travel to Pacific University in Oregon. So long journey there. Then they will play UW-Platteville at Platteville. Then back home against Whitewater, and then River Falls. So the last few years they kind of just switch off where they play. A little bit more home games than away games this year for the Pointers. Kind of that back end of the season last year, they were more away than home. So we will be back. Should keep on talking, keep on going. All right, I'm not sure. Kind of going through everything here. Looks like the fans are ready to go. It's been a long off season waiting for the Pointers, see if they have a better outcome than last year. So they won both of their out-of-conference games, but still have not won a WIAC game in about 4 or 5 years here. So hopefully Platteville's where we'll get started on that, but it's a few weeks away.
Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jacob. I just kind of going through some stuff. A little pregame. Nothing too exciting, as you can hear from my voice. I'm just kind of going through, talking like I'm reading a book.
It's all right. We like to read here.
Exactly.
Looking at our schedule, we got a home matchup next week against St. Norbert. Have a week off. We'll start conference play at around October 4th at UW-Platteville. Then home against Whitewater and River Falls.
Got a whole breakdown now. We got some new things, Jacob. It's
Absolutely.
exciting up here.
It's exciting.
Got the rosters. We got everything. Yep, we're good.
How's our balance sound, Reagan?
Sound all good.
Me?
Talking.
Talk? Keep talking. Do you want me to turn it up or down? Up? You want me to keep talking? Yes? Up, down? Keep going up, down. Huh? Keep talking. All right.
I'm talking. This is Brett McNamara. We're at
We're going to talk at the
Gerke
same time.
Field and Mendicki family.
Yep.
It's the scoreboard.
I know. Move my mic a little closer. Turn my gain up.
Tommy has to go get warmed up for skiing.
Tommy has to get warmed up. I just heard that. All right.
What?
Is that better?
Your meeting will end. Shoot, that's a bit of a problem.
What? Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh. They're looking great. They looked excited going through warm-ups. We're all super pumped up here in the booth. We're ready for some Pointers football, and we're about 4 minutes away here from game action. Offensively, they got a new quarterback. Charlie Smith is your starting quarterback for the Pointers. He did start a few games last year. He looked all right, definitely could improve. Hopefully we'll see those improvements here today.
Exciting matchup here ahead of us. It's week 1 here in September. Eau Claire played the other night to start off with the beginning of the WIAC football teams playing against UW-Carroll.
We forgot to mention, Jacob, it's also the Spud Bowl.
Of course, it's the Spud Bowl.
It is. Yeah, yeah.
Potatoes, free French fries handed out here at Gerke, and here come the team captains meet up in the middle.
As we look at the captains for the Pointers, it's going to be Charlie Smith, of course, with Joe Behrens, returning linebacker. He's a senior this year from Wausau. Then there's Matt Getkin, and finishing out the captains, it's Ever Armendariz. Looking at the future schedule here, so we're going to look down at the
Pointers will return to start it off. So we get to see in this new look offense, the big talk is who would start at quarterback. It's been a little bit of a discussion. The team had a couple of scrimmages over the last several weekends, but the official rosters came out this past Thursday night, and the Pointers will be leading in with Charlie Smith.
Just a reminder, you're listening to WWSP Stevens Point, presented by Pointer Studios. As the Pointers get ready to return, and everybody here, the fans, the players, the coaches, they're all ready to get this season going. After, I think we can agree, a disappointing season last year. In the last few years, it's just been not to what the standards should be held here in Stevens Point.
We'll talk about it a little more, but obviously, yes, coming off of a 1-9 season, went winless throughout the conference. Now, it should be mentioned that the WIAC is one of the most, arguably the most difficult conference in a lot of sports, but especially football. There was at least 3 to 4 teams at one point nationally ranked, that being Lacrosse, Whitewater, which that's been very typical of them, including even Platteville and River Falls last season.
And Platteville's been very impressive across all sports in the WIAC division. They've really taken a step up, especially in basketball as well, taking that number 1 spot and winning conference. We'll see if they do it this year. We'll see if the Pointers can give them a little bit of a battle.
Albion lines it up to kick off. And the kick is away. That'll bounce out of bounds. Then the 20. Pointers like that. Here comes Charlie Smith and the offense to start off this season.
Pointers starting offense today. Take a look. It's going to be Smith, of course. Then you got Bryson Cashin returning. Had a little bit of an injury last season. Never really got going. Just tried to force him play through it. So we'll see if they get him going early. A little bit of emotion here for the Pointers to start their offense. Smith in the shotgun. Handoff to Cashin. Cashin right up the middle and tackle it about the, we're going to say the 38-yard line. As a helmet was lost from Elijah Mott. Elijah Mott. He'll have to come out for a play. It's about 2nd and 6 now for the Pointers. We did mention a little bit in the pregame that the Pointers were running through different kinds of formations. Had a little bit of a wing tee. Now they're starting with their spread offense. Here's Smith now, toss to Cashin. Cashin trying to get around the outside. Breaks one tackle and bounced out of bounds at the 48-yard line into Albion territory. Nice run there from Cashin. And Smith trying to keep this offense calm and collective. Not put too much pressure on them. And so far, so good here. Early first down for the Pointers, as he was actually marked out at exactly the 50-yard line. Two wide receivers to the left now for the Pointers. A little bit of motion. Smith from the shotgun. Albion looks to be running a man. Smith rolling out to his left. And that's going to be caught by the wide receiver, Jeff Rowan. A nice rollout and throw and completion by Charlie Smith. And it's going to be a 2nd and 2 now for the Pointers.
All
as
right.
we take it back to Jacob.
Can you guys hear me now?
Little audio troubles, but we're back.
Nothing like that to start the season.
As looks like Smith's going out. Cashin's taking the Wildcat.
2nd down. Fakes the handoff. It's an inside run. Smith fighting, and it looks like he should get it. Albion confident, but no, the Pointers will convert and advance the sticks into the Britons territory.
Charlie Smith going out in motion, but Bryson Cashin taking the Wildcat snap, and that's something that we were talking about. The Pointers trying new formations. They're working out new things, and so far it's working. 2 first downs already on the drive.
I'm liking this fast tempo offense. We're really moving the ball quickly. It's efficient. So here we go on 1st and 10. Couple of motions trying to confuse the defense. Here it is. Quick throw, near side, it's low and incomplete.
Looks like it was a little bit tipped by the outside linebacker of Albion. That's Isaac Rayberg getting there quickly to Smith as he just had to throw it quickly. Tried to get to that out route, but just couldn't get it going.
Rayberg read that pretty well. You could tell the defense was motioning towards that side of the ball. So even when you bring a couple of guys across like that, it didn't throw them off. So it stops the clock. They got a couple of plays to work with here on 2nd and 10. Smith takes it. Handoff. Cashin up the middle, fighting through tacklers. Helmet pops off. Good effort run from Bryson Cashin. He missed a lot of time last season. And it looks like it'll be 3rd and short.
About 3rd and a couple inches here. And Cashin, he's having a great start so far. A few runs.
Absolutely.
Almost a first down there as well. And that's what the Pointers want to see. Bryson Cashin getting going early. He's a big player for this offense.
3rd and 1. Smith lines up under center. And it is a handoff. He will convert. First down, and the drive will continue.
And that's the wing tee offense right there. You have the
Absolutely.
motion from Cashin on the outside. And that's kind of how a wing tee offense works. A lot of motion. You don't know who's going to get the ball.
On the handoff, that wasn't Cashin, that was Lucas Mills. 5'10" running back out of South Wayne, Wisconsin. He is a junior, so they're working in those upperclassmen. Talked about Bryson Cashin. He's a senior and a little native here out of Plover, Wisconsin. On 1st down, here's a pitch. Far side for Cashin, has some pressure. Trying to spin out of it. He'll get a couple of yards out.
And I'm just noticing Cashin just looks really explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Last year you kind of saw he had an ankle injury. Never really got going in any of the games, and it just kind of sucked. They brought in a lot of backup running backs to try and give him breaks. It just didn't work out. And we're all happy to see Cashin fully healthy to start this season.
They did an alternating quarterback scheme as well. On short situations or down and goal situations, they would incorporate last year's freshman Zay Zagner, who's no longer on the team. But they got some new stuff in here. It's 2nd and 6. Smith takes it, wants to go deep, but he's got pressure. Trying to get out, he's going to climb it and run. Slipping down inside the 15. A new set of downs for the Pointers.
And Charlie Smith looks so relaxed in that pocket. He made the right decision by taking and running it. Nobody was really open. And Smith, You know, last year he was kind of just staying in that pocket, didn't really do a lot. This year, getting out and picking up that first down for the Pointers.
Yeah, and defensively, Albion schemed it where they brought pressure to the outside, those contained edges. But the offensive tackles held their guys while the pocket was collapsing. Smith had that nice little shoot to go right up the middle, and that worked perfectly. Here we go on 1st and 10 now. Here's a little end around. Trying to find an angle and won't get too much out of it. Shoved pretty harshly, but nothing too egregious to warrant a penalty. And that'll be 2nd down.
That was the wide receiver, Braden Wickzick, getting that jet sweep, trying to bounce it around the outside. Albion read that perfectly. Excuse me, Wieczek. And Albion, they got to get a stop here. You know, there's almost a first down, about 9 yards away, and then it would be 1st and goal for the Pointers.
We're already about 5 minutes into the first quarter, and interesting. Now Charlie Smith's going to line up under center. The motion cash-in. It's a fake. Smith throwing to wide open man. It's caught for the touchdown. What a start for the Pointers.
And that was perfect. Got Albion all going to the left side. The play was to the right.
Hold on, there were some flags thrown at the end of the play. Right into the end zone. Do you think they'll call that excessive celebration?
I'm thinking so. We're not sure what the celebration was, but I think the touchdown will stand. And the Pointers started in a shotgun with a spread formation, went to that wing T formation on an audible, pump fakes the pitch to the left, got Albion all the way to the right, tight end split out, and an easy touchdown for the Pointers to make it 6-0.
So we saw the flags thrown, but I don't see anybody making a call. They're lining it up to attempt an extra point.
And do you think it gets put on the kickoff?
It might be, but I feel like they would have called it. The kick is good. So a quick 7-0 start for the Pointers. An impressive offensive drive. And now Albion is going to come on offense after this kickoff with a swift response. There are a couple of stats that I want to point out, Brett. As you know, last season, the Pointers and the Britons played each other in Week 1. However, that was in Albion, Michigan. That's where they're from, in Albion University. It was a close game, but the Britons took the victory up 31-23. And I want to talk about the overall records really quick. We can talk about more of the overall statistics from that game. However, looking at the overall matchups between each other, Point is actually 2-0 at home against Albion. And looking at Albion, they're 3-1 against the Pointers at their home field advantage in Michigan. So we're going to see how much that really helps, because I was talking to some of the players, and you know it's a long drive going out there, and they got a long drive in a couple weeks. They're heading over to Oregon to play.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. A couple of the WIAC teams get that opportunity this week. I believe it's UWSP later today. They've driven all the way. I think they took a bus all the way to Linfield, Oregon. That's the team that they're going to be playing. So some fun cross-country opportunities for these teams in this conference all the way here in the upper Midwest. But we're focused on this matchup today. Obviously, these are the important games. It's got to be a statement, because you come off a 1-9 season, and you got to start off strong and fast. I think that's why when they won the toss, they said, we want the ball.
Exactly, Jacob.
You want to start aggressive.
And going along with the weird formations, the Pointers are just doing it again on kickoff. They have a 6-man kind of stack on the right side. I don't really know how to explain it, but something you never see as the kick is away.
Shorter kick. They're going to field it around the 20. Trying to find some blockers in front. Shoots the gap. Hurdles a man and tripped down around the 42. He made a hard hit down on the turf, but gets right back up. And here comes Albion heading onto the field.
So that was Jalen Johnson on the kick return.
Not the corner from the Bears, right?
Not the corner from the Bears, but he actually has a brother, Jawan Johnson, too. So they both wear the same number. One plays offense, one plays defense. So I'm not sure which brother it was that got the kick return. But the Albion will take over at about the 42.
It's going to be Ollie Murray, the senior out of Dearborn, Michigan, who starts off a quarterback, and it's a handoff inside. Decent gain of about 5 yards.
And Murray's a left-handed quarterback, so we'll see if that affects how the Pointers play defense today.
And they're going quick tempo, no huddle. After the gain of 6 on the carry, it's 2nd and 4 to go. Murray's in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. Takes it, keeps it, quick throw, near side, trying to get a screen. We'll get a couple yards as 2 pointers meet up on the tackle.
And that was Charlie Anderson making the initial contact. Great job there. He read the bubble screen perfectly. And even though he didn't make the tackle, it affected the other pointers to get there quickly and stop the Albion Britons from getting that first down.
Yeah, it didn't really work. Only get 1 yard out of it. So now it's 3rd down and 3. It's going to be another shotgun formation.
This would be great for the pointers if they can get a quick 3 and out. It would be really beneficial to the way this game goes.
On 3rd down. Now here's the snap. Murray to throw it. Fires far side too high. Oh, broken up. What a play from this Pointers defense and a quick 3 and out.
Brock Chadwick. We thought the pass was overthrown initially, and then it went to a different wide receiver of Albion. Chadwick said not today and gets the boomstick right on the wide receiver as the Pointers force an early 3 and out, and the fans are loving it.
Absolutely. Honestly, I mean, I thought that because I think the Albion offense even thought it was overthrown. The one guy, I think initially it was the tight end, goes up, puts his hand up there, obviously wound up incomplete. So on 4th down, they're going to punt it away.
And Zach Lynch back to return as the Pointers almost get there, and that's going to be a flag.
Ball lands in the end zone, but as you mentioned, there was a flag thrown, so we'll see what they call it.
It's going to be roughing the kicker. It was very close. They tried to block the ball, but fortunately, you just can't really stop your momentum in that moment. And it will be, like I said, roughing the kicker for the Pointers, so they'll probably start around the 15, 10-yard line.
All right, looks like we're not getting a mic there on the call. That's all right. So we know it's roughing the kicker, and I already talked about, we've talked about this aggressiveness, this aggressive play that Point wants to come out with. And of course, there's such a thing as over-aggressiveness. When you're trying to overcompensate there, when you try to block the ball, you got to be careful. Oh, wow, they gave him the first down. So the drive will actually continue for Albion because of the roughing the kicker penalty. So the sticks don't end there. And the over-aggressiveness, that might be something to look at for the rest of this game.
But that's good. The Pointers almost got there, so that's what you want to see.
Quick snap. And here's the picked off. Intercepted by Stevens Point. Was he marked down? I hear the whistles, so I think they'll say he was marked down with contact. Wow.
And right when Albion gets a break, they turn it over, an interception by Carter Dulkey, the linebacker. He was just there. It was zone coverage. He pushed out to the right side. They were trying to get it to the wide receiver, Cameron Moore, and Murray just missed him.
Wow. The junior out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, floated to the near side, awaiting a screen. Murray waited too long on the throw, and it was a soft pass.
It was just a simple curl route, too.
Oh, my goodness.
And Murray was open as well.
So now the Pointers will have the ball. They'll start it from their own 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, fakes the end around. It is a draw up the middle, and only a gain of about 2 yards for Stevens Point.
Yeah, you had the end around opportunity to Ben Wollersheim, but then you go to Zach Lynch, the sophomore, and it kind of reminds me of the offense the Packers kind of have with that handoff to Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
You fake it to one guy, usually Jaden Reed, and then you go to Josh Jacobs, but this time the Pointers do it with Lynch.
So Lynch is the 3rd running back that Point has worked in. We're going to see how many other formations they do. On 2nd down, Smith over the middle, falls incomplete. The pass was soft, initially trying to target Matt Getgen, their starting tight end, but he had some tight coverage there. So it'll be 3rd down after the incompletion.
And Smith looked through all of his progressions there. Nobody was really open. Had to make something. Glad he didn't force something necessarily. So good job there from Smith. And he's looked pretty good so far as the starting quarterback here for the Pointers.
So on 3rd down, they need 7. The motion. It's an inside run. Breaking tackles, but spun down short of the 50. by 3 yards, so it will be 4th down.
The Pointers tried going to Zach Lynch once again, giving him a few reps, giving Cashin a little bit of a break. And I just don't necessarily like that call on a 3rd and I want to say long. You had the opportunity to throw it here. They decided to go with the run, and it results in a 3-and-out for the Pointers.
I agree. I think they didn't disguise enough of what they were doing. It was very easily read. They did a lot more of their confusing type motions in their goal situation on their previous drive. So due to that, on 4th down, Pointers are forced to punt it. Punt is away. Bit of a high flyer. Marked a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and that is where Albion will start their next offensive pursuit.
Yeah, the Pointers, after having a great first drive, were just really stalled there on that second drive. Charlie Smith a little bit more, not as relaxed as he was, but he was handing the ball off quite a bit on that drive. So we'll see if they make some more adjustments. I'm sure Cashin will come back out on offense.
So there was some statistics I wanted to talk about in last year's matchup. We'll get to that probably throughout the end of this drive, but it may be a deciding factor in this game. Murray takes the snap, keeps it. No, it was an inside run. Decent gain of about 4 yards.
That was number 49, Tanner Mrotek, making the tackle for the Pointers all the way from the left end spot.
Another handoff. And gets nothing. Good stop. Well read by the defense.
And the Britons' right guard and center were pulling on that. They just didn't get there quick enough. And once again, the Pointers are just halting this running game by the Britons.
I would like to watch Carter Dahlke, the outside linebacker. He's the one that made that interception. And he's kind of been used as a hybrid. He's a rusher, but he's also in coverage. Think of him kind of like a Nick Bonito, like they'll use in the Denver Broncos. He's not a pure pass rusher. He'll sometimes stray to the outside. This is a fake and a quick throw, far side, incomplete. Another floater, and on 3rd down, getting nothing. They're forced to punt.
Yeah, they try to go to the screen to Jalen Johnson. Mentioned it before, and Murray's just not looking good so far. He's overthrowing passes. This is, I want to say, his 3rd or 4th overthrown pass on a simple screen pass as well. So you got to get Murray a little bit more calm and collective, and he's just not doing it right now for the Britons.
It is early, and I think, honestly, that quick start for the game for the Pointers really might have affected the offensive side of the ball and had the need to respond. But here's the punt. Decent. They mark a fair catch right at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it's Xander Pop as the punt returner for the Pointers. And the Pointers are no longer with Gavino Lopez. Lopez graduated, and he was a very big factor for this Pointers defense. So
Absolutely.
We'll see how they adjust without him.
He was a flashy corner. He had some nice speed. Very solid coverage ability. But here we go. It's 1st and 10 for the Pointers' 3rd drive of the game. Starting at their own 34-yard line, Charlie Smith is alone in the shotgun. Takes it. Quick throw to the near side. Batted up. Oh, he catches his own pass. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. That was a Brett Favre type move.
I was just going to say that, Jacob. Brett Favre did it as his first pass with the Falcons. Yeah, Charlie Smith right there trying to get that quick curl-in route. Wow. And it's just batted down by the outside linebacker of the Britons, Alex Olenek.
That was very impressive. He managed to have made it back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a quick throw here. Caught for a gain of about 5 yards.
And I'm noticing the Pointers' right tackle, Jacob Scott, is just kind of putting one hand out, and the outside linebacker for the Britons is getting there very quickly. And you saw it on the previous play. It did affect Charlie Smith's throw. So you got to get a little bit more pressure, push him out inside more to make Smith try and complete that pass.
You know, I love my dogs in the trenches. I'm a former offensive tackle myself. He's going to be a big guy to watch. So they change it up. Charlie Smith will line up under center here on 3rd down. He's going to throw. Good protection. He floats it, and it falls incomplete. I don't see any flags for pass interference. That's what the Pointers wanted, but they won't get it. So a quick 3-and-out forced by this Albion defense, who is truly locked in after the first drive. And Stevens Point is forced to punt.
Exactly, Jacob. And they did it. They did what they did before with that touchdown pass. Started out in a spread offense, went to that wing tee, faked a handoff, and Smith just overthrew his wide receiver. And that's pretty much why there wasn't a flag called, because it just wasn't a catchable ball.
Yep. Both teams initially relying on the run game to start their drives. Albion will field it inside the 15, coming to the near side, losing space and stopped around the 21, thrown down.
Big play there made by Paul Morris, getting there quickly to the ball and forcing out the punt returner at the 22-yard line. So great job there by the Pointers special teams. And that was a great punt there.
Absolutely.
As well.
I'd like to talk about last year's matchup. The Pointers dominated last season in their matchup against Albion, having 160 total rushing yards compared to the Britons' 80. However, the passing game is where it differed, because the Pointers, starting quarterback last season in that game, Jake Lier, went 17-29, but threw 2 interceptions, while Albion's quarterback from last season had 3 touchdowns but no turnovers. Here on first down, Murray hands it off up the middle and will not get much at all.
And the Pointers defensive line, they're doing it what their name says, being absolute dogs. They're in the trenches, getting to the ball carrier quickly. And this running game has been non-existent for Albion. Just nothing is going. They got to do something offensively here. They've not even gotten a first down, I believe, Jacob.
Well, technically, because of that penalty on the hit on the punter, that's their only earned one. Here's a handoff, a nice run, met up around the 25-yard line. Will extend a little bit after that. Still short of the down marker.
I got to give props to Paul Morris. He did it on the special teams play, and he's doing it again at the inside linebacker spot. He's getting to the ball carrier quickly, and that's exactly what you want to see out of that Mike linebacker.
Absolutely. It's all about doing your 1/11th. Do your one job to make the rest of your squad viable. So it's 3rd and 3. Alone in the shotgun, it's trips right.
5 wideouts.
Murray takes the snap, has some pressure, throws down the field, and it's intercepted!
He's got a chance.
Inside the 20. And reeled down around the 10. The second turnover forced by this Pointers defense.
And Murray did it again. He overthrew his wide receiver, had him wide open. But Xander Pop, we talked about him before, without Gavino Lopez, he has to step in as that number 1 corner. And he does exactly what he's supposed to do. Gets the interception, and the Pointers are inside the red zone with a chance of making this a 2-possession game.
Xander Pop, the junior out of Two Rivers, Wisconsin, making the big play. And already the Pointers offensively in the red zone.
And it's got to start from Charlie Smith. How can you take that next step to get in the end zone here after back-to-back possessions of 3 and out?
1st and 10. Fade near side, incomplete.
Tried to do that Devontae Adams fade route, and it just didn't work in that left corner to the end zone. Pass intended for Parker Jochimson.
Yeah, they wanted that penalty thrown, but the ball was just too forced inside. You need a little bit more air time, and the receiver needs to react just a slight bit later. He was turning before the end zone where there was tight coverage. You need to just give that one more millisecond of separation. It's a quick snap here on 2nd down. It's a run to the outside, and it's a touchdown.
And Jacob, I think you missed it. They just had the center ready to snap the ball. The rest of the offense was in a huddle. Wide receiver and center were both on the line of scrimmage. And then a snap of the finger. They're all up, ready to take the snap. Boom, boom, quick handoff to the fullback. It was Reed Smith. And Reed Smith gets into the end zone, and it's 13-0 Pointers.
The Pointers have now had 5 different players run the ball. the fullback being the fifth, as they line up for the extra point. This quick tempo offense is going to be big to watch throughout this game. Very strong start for the Pointers. The kick is up and good. 14-0 lead for Stevens Point.
And I'm absolutely in love with this offense so far. They look like a completely different team compared to last year. More tempo. They look excited to actually play football, and it's awesome. I love it.
Absolutely. You can feel the electricity, not only in the stands, because you could feel the fan atmosphere in previous seasons, but I mean, you could hear this team hyped in warm-ups, coming out of the tunnel. Like, there is a certain type of level of energy that is needed to play football, but also to win and to compete. You can go out and have fun in a game, but to try to win, you have to unleash your effort, and I think the Pointers have done that so far. Defensively, reading the quarterback well. Offensively, just having that speed, trying to catch the defense off guard or in a big sweat.
Yeah, you kind of notice the difference between the team last year and this year. It just looks like they have more of a pride standpoint going on. They just look more collective. They have more chemistry together, and they're just ready to finally make a standpoint in this conference. Pointers will now kick it away back to a regular formation.
And the kick bounces around the 16. It's fielded. Finding a lane, breaking tackles, and finally taken down inside the 40. A nice return for Albion, trying to have the momentum swing back in the Britons' favor.
I'm going to say, Jacob, Jalen Johnson's got the eye of a kick returner. He's great at finding those lanes, and it's been back-to-back kick returns now where he's gotten it to basically the 40-yard line. So we'll see if he ends up breaking one out.
I agree. Jalen Johnson has some astute vision. We'll see what he can do as a wideout, but so far as a returner, he has impressed me. I will say it looks like they got some big guys for their front five for this Albion offense. So I don't know if they're going to continue to attempt to rely on the inside run. Here's the first snap, and it's an outside run. Finding some holes, won't get much, a couple yards.
And sure enough, making the tackle once again, Paul Morris. All the way from the right side, making it to, the left side, making it all the way to the right, making the tackle, and it was only a short gain for Albion. But Murray, he's got to make a completion here. He's got to hit his targets. He's been overthrowing so far. We'll see if anything changes.
And it's another run. They're getting tricky with those fakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in the backfield. I know it's tough to see. There's a lot of pulling from the offensive linemen, and they're just not getting there in time. That's why the Pointers are getting to the football quickly, is because the offensive line, they're pulling, but the Pointers are reading it so perfectly that they don't even have a chance to make the blocks.
Absolutely. So with under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, it's 3rd and 4. Another third down that Albion needs to convert.
Under 2 minutes now here in the first quarter.
Murray in the shotgun. He'll motion his man. And it's another inside run. Will he get it? It'll be close, but I think he'll be about a yard shy. And they're advancing the sticks.
I thought it was a yard short.
So did I.
Looked like it from here, but they give him the first down on a 6-yard run.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the knee looked down around the 48, but they marked the ball at the 49, so it's a new pair of sticks.
It was Nevin Dent with the carry on the previous play.
On first down, it is a fake. Murray going deep, near side. Oh, into the hands. Slipped through the hands of the intended receiver, and it falls incomplete.
Finally, Murray had the ball perfectly placed, and it's just dropped right in the hands. Easily would have been a touchdown.
He's not even.
And the ball's still in the end zone.
He's not even walking into the huddle. He just walked to the sideline on the track. That's, all right.
That was Jalen Johnson on the drop. And the first big play of the year is halted due to a big drop by Johnson.
On second down, it's an outside run. Good block on the perimeter. and a gain of about 8 to 9 yards on the carry for Albion.
And the previous play, those are the big plays that you need.
Yeah.
And when stuff like that happens with the drop, that's very crucial because it affects your whole offense. And with the way that it's been going so far for Murray, it just makes it even worse.
So now it's 3rd and 1 after the 9-yard carry. Got about 35 seconds here in the first quarter. Murray on the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. Only need 1 yard. It is an inside run. They got it with ease and more. Nice burst through the hole down to the 30-yard line with the Britons' first down.
And finally, they don't decide to pull there. The offensive line for the Britons goes right up the gut and gets the first down, and you're starting to see what's working here for Albion.
So the clock running down. We'll see if they get the snap off. Only 5 seconds and counting. They might try to get the Pointers to jump off sides. No, they run the play. It's a fake. Quick throw of the middle. Almost intercepted. Well read by this Pointers defense. And that is where we'll lead off. An eventful first quarter here at Gerke Park. An exciting game so far. 2 interceptions for this Pointers defense. A big dropped pass. Some nice returns for Albion. And, of course, the 2 touchdown drives for Stevens Point. What a game so far.
Yeah, Murray, just on that previous throw, he had him initially, but just couldn't complete the pass. It was short and almost intercepted for a 3rd turnover, but the Pointers are playing great so far offensively. 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing, and defensively, like you said, Jacob, 2 turnovers.
You know what I want to say?
What would you like to say?
I love calling football. I miss calling football. I'm here with my favorite people in the booth. It's a great atmosphere so far, but not only is it a great atmosphere, it's also the Spud Bowl.
It is the Spud Bowl. Free potatoes. Who doesn't love some free stuff?
So are you getting free French fries at halftime, or is it just me?
It might be me too. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll make a little walk over there.
We'll see. I mean, it is a fun start. You can see on the bottom ticker if you're watching this online on the WIAC network. There are some games coming up here in this first week of WIAC play, although it isn't the actual interconference play. It's just all the WIAC teams are playing separate opponents. Obviously, it's a lot of out-of-state teams. For example, we're playing Albion, a team out of Michigan. It's about 40 minutes east of Kalamazoo, if anyone knows where that is. But it's a nice matchup so far. As we're getting some stats in here, we'll read it off in a minute from the first quarter. But the second quarter begins. 2nd and 10 for Albion in Pointers territory. They're running this in the pistol formation. The first play like this today. Murray, inside run up the middle. Brought down after a nice gain. He will be short of the mark.
And that is a new running back for Albion. That's Jerome Taylor getting the handoff, and he looks very explosive. And the Pointers getting there quickly. It's being a 3rd and 6 now.
On 3rd down, they're running this out of the pistol again. It is a handoff up the middle, and he will get the first.
Jerome Taylor there on the carry once again. As Albion picks up the first down.
So, on 1st and 10, looks like they're just kind of taking their time here. They've run a couple of quick tempo plays, but Murray, he'll be in the shotgun with the back lined up to his right.
Pointers sticking in that man-to-man defense here.
Takes the snap. It's a fake and a quick
What a
throw,
read.
and it's well read. Nice play made. And that is Xander Pop, who had that 2nd interception for this Pointers defense.
Xander Pop's been all over this field along with the inside linebacker, Paul Morris. They're really 2 big guys here on this Pointers defense. With Gavino Lopez gone, Derek Sims is gone. So they got to fill those spots, and they're doing it pretty good so far.
Absolutely. So it was a loss of 2, a tackle for a loss for Xander Pop. Add that on to his stat sheet. It's 2nd and 12 now. And it is an inside run. Nice contact balance for the back. That was Tyler Griffin, the junior out of St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Decent gain there, but still not enough.
As they finally get inside the red zone now, Albion looking to get something going. It's a 3rd and long, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going with the field goal if they can't get anything here.
You can hear the Pointer faithful, the dog pound, some might say, on 3rd and 8. Murray in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking to throw, has protection, fires for the end zone, nobody there. Falls incomplete, and it is 4th down, so they can decide to try to kick the field goal, and that looks like that's what they're going to try to do.
And Murray had a wide open wide receiver, Cameron Moore, right across the middle, kind of bounced off a Pointer defender, and Murray just didn't see him. You saw Moore just jumping up in the air, trying to get something.
The Pointers actually played that well. It looked like they had a spy for Murray if he wanted to spill out of the pocket. He felt the presence of his pocket collapsing, so he just decided to throw it away. Attempting their first points of the game. The kick is up, and he missed it wide left. It is no good. This remains a 14-0 game.
And everything is just going the Pointers' direction, whether it's turnovers, missed field goals, or just miscommunication between Murray and the offense. Pointers have a very good chance of taking away Albion.
So these are the first quarter stats. Obviously, they're not updated. But UWSP had a total of 6 first downs, while Albion had only 2. Obviously, that was before this last drive by Albion, but still counts as a stop. Missed points, it's a turnover on downs, so the Pointers will start it from their own 20-yard line. Smith in the shotgun, takes the snap, pitch to the left side, and a gain of maybe about 5 yards.
Yeah, Reed Smith trying to get around the outside. Not a bad attempt there. And a lot of running here from the Pointers.
Absolutely.
I mean, without Miles Gallagher now, due to him transferring to UW Whitewater, which we will see Whitewater in a few weeks here.
Absolutely.
They got to do something offensively, but the running game's been pretty good so far, so I'm not complaining.
So it's a gain of 6 after the pitch play. It's 2nd and 4. Smith lines up under center. It is a fake. He's going to throw it deep. Down the near side, got his man, and it falls incomplete. Well defended and broken up by Albion.
Yeah, pass intended for Austin Phillips, but a great job there by the Albion defender. Believe it was Marion Backstresser making the play and knocking that ball out. Would have been a big play for the Pointers, but shut down by the defensive back of the Britons.
I like that play call on 2nd down. Phillips is going to be a big wideout to watch this season for Stevens Point, but now it is 3rd and 4. Smith keeps it. Nope, hands off. And should get the first. He wasn't marked down. Pointers move the sticks.
And the thing I'm noticing here is that Bryson Cashin hasn't been in the offense as much as we thought he would be.
No, not
at
all.
It's been Reed Smith. We saw a little bit of Zach Lynch, the sophomore. So we'll see if Cashin is just not as involved as we think. But Reed Smith's still back there for the Pointers.
I'll give you my thoughts on why I think that's smart in a minute, but right now it's 1st and 10. They fake the end around. It is an inside handoff for a gain of only about 1 yard, maybe 2. So why I think that's smart, actually, if I'm Albion, you know, Bryson Cashin was supposed to be the Pointers' lead back all last season, but he got hurt. So what did he come into this year? He comes into this year as a senior. He's an experienced veteran in this scheme, even though they're changing some things schematically. So you are going to game plan for him, but the Pointers have involved several different backs in this game. I mean, you saw the last touchdown, it was by the fullback. Albion isn't prepared for that.
Exactly.
On first
and there's
down,
Cashin.
That's the guy they probably game plan for. Still a nice run out of the senior out of Plover, Wisconsin.
And I agree with you, Jacob. I do think that the Pointers, they got to get something else going. It can't always be Bryson Cashin. You can't rely on him. And even with the injury last year, you got to be able to have those backup running backs ready to go. And so far, all 3 of them have looked pretty good.
Absolutely. So 3rd and 3 for the Pointers. They converted it on 3rd and 4 on the last set of downs. And they're changing it again, another audible. So he fixes it out to the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. Smith, quick throw. It is high but caught for the first down. Bryson Cashin lined out wide last second, and another set of downs for Stevens Point.
And that's Braden Wiechik making the catch again, and I said it before, I love the way that this offense has been playing so far. They're changing everything at the line of scrimmage. You saw it there before. They had that rush kind of mentality, getting up to the line of scrimmage to the players, the center and the wide receiver. Rush up the line, kind of brought him back, audibled, and pick up an easy first down there.
High snap, but a give to Cashin, bouncing it to the outside. Nice moves, and spun down near midfield. The way he spun, it might have looked like a face mask, but they're not going to call it that. So it's 2nd and 4. The Pointers are inconsistently. They'll either do a quick huddle. Sometimes they'll just do fast tempo. Right there, that was a quick huddle play.
But it's so exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Compared to last year, it's the same thing over and over and over. This time you got to be watching every play.
And it is another draw up the middle. Nice contact balance down into Britain's territory for a Stevens Point first down.
That I'm at a loss of words for that play. That was awesome. He had the fake handoff there to Cashin, and then Smith just kind of does a fake throw, but actually handed it off to Reed Smith right up the middle. It's just confusion, but it's working so well for the Pointers.
This is a big draw type offense. They've only tried the end around, I believe, one time. But here it's 1st and 10, and they're really running this clock down. I like this. A lot of runs as they motion Wiechik. And
it's going to be a timeout for the Pointers.
so looking at what else the Pointers had to offer in terms of rushing, Bryson Cashin in the first quarter had a gain of 32 yards, was averaging 6.5 yards a carry. Reed Smith had 12 yards. Of course, he averaged 12 yards because it was only the one rush he had. Obviously, Charlie Smith had the one carry where he got 9 yards. And Zach Lynch, who's being involved a lot more here for this Pointers offense. Number 23, we've seen him a lot more here in the second quarter. So overall in this first half, it's a dynamic offense for Stevens Point. And Albion, even though they're not on the offense right now, they started off doing a lot of screen plays, but they were short screens, tight end type screens. And it hasn't worked, obviously, so far. Their one drive was successful, but wound up in a missed field goal. So we'll see how the rest of the game looks.
And I wouldn't be surprised here if the Pointers decide to go with a pass.
So after the timeout, it is a draw to Zach Lynch, who only got 1 yard on the carry.
I believe it was Reed Smith with the carry. And here's the tempo offense. They're going to go again here.
Yes, you're right. It is Reed Smith. Fast tempo, no huddle.
1-on-1 on the outside here.
Quick throw to the other side of the field, and it's dropped. Incompletion and in and out of the hands.
Wiechik.
Yeah, Wiechik.
Wiechik ran that same route that he picked up the first down on a few plays ago. This time he just couldn't catch it.
So 3rd and 8 now. Smith lines it up in the shotgun, trips left as they motion Wiechik in the backfield. Here's the snap. Blitz coming. Pressure coming. Throw near side. Too far in front and falls incomplete. Smith got blasted. Picked up right away by his offensive lineman. He knew he made a mistake. Picked him up. Obviously couldn't pick up the blitz. So it's 4th down, and the Pointers are forced to punt it.
Yeah, Smith had to get that ball out very quickly. Intended for Austin Phillips. Just couldn't complete the pass. But I'm thinking it was affected due to the hit. He just had to throw it in the direction of Phillips.
I mean, he had the air. He had the distance.
Exactly.
Obviously, not the precision on that particular pass. But that was definitely due to the pressure, and that's exactly what Albion schemed and what they wanted. So the punt is away, and that's a short one. Falls at the 15, and will bounce and scooped up by the Pointers at the 10. So that is where the Britons will start it. That was pretty efficient. If I'm the special teams coach, you don't want to boot it. I mean, you're already on the opposing team side of the field because if you do, it lands in the touchback, so you're already guaranteeing them decent field position. And what do you do with a little squibber like that? You let it land around the 10. That's pretty nice.
It was beautiful, honestly, Jacob, and you explained it perfectly. You know, in that situation, you're only at the 40-yard line. You have to have a little short punt to push Albion back into Pointer territory. So we'll see, into the Albion territory. So we'll see if that affects their offensive possession here.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Britons, desiring some points to be scored. This one's out of the pistol. It is a run. And we'll get maybe about 2 yards on the carry for the Britons.
I want to say Paul Morris has made over 10 tackles easily so far in this game. He's been all over the field, being that team, I would say the captain of the defense. He's calling the plays, obviously. He's making the decisions, and he's doing exactly what you want to do as a Mike inside linebacker.
Absolutely. Morris being that Mike linebacker, the junior out of McFarland, Wisconsin. Here on the rollout, Murray throws, and it's caught but out of bounds, so it is ruled an incompletion. He got drilled on that throw, so had to get the throw off.
And you know who was there, Jacob? I've been talking about him pretty much every single defensive play, Paul Morris.
Paul Morris.
Making Murray have to throw it quickly. Murray could probably feel the breath of Morris right there, and he hit him pretty hard, just like Charlie Smith on the previous drive for the Pointers.
Absolutely. A new year, so a new Pointers defense. We already got some standouts today. Dalkey, Morris, and Pop. So it's 3rd and 7. They're taking a little bit of their time now from their own 13-yard line. Murray in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. Here's the snap. Murray looking. It is a screen. Taking in, getting some blocks. He'll be close, but I think marked just shot. No. They'll give him the first down.
And Jack Leducky going with the knee chopper. Oof. But I think that actually just made him have that first down, because if he hits him normally, pushes him back a little bit, maybe they call that short, but due to him hitting him at the knees, he kind of reached that ball over and picks up the first down, and they now are at the 21-yard line.
I like the play call. You draw the pressure that the Pointers have been bringing. That was efficient. That was nice. Albion continues their drive. It is an inside run. Immediately met up and driven back. The ball comes out. Was he marked down already? No. And Luke Vinay, the Pointers head coach, ran onto the turf. Might have not liked what he's seen. He's talking with the official now.
I think he was running over there because he thought he was down.
Yeah.
And so he wants the ball spotted, obviously, a couple of yards before, and they are going to call that. So it's going to be a 2nd and long here for the Pointers. And that was Paul Morris forcing the fumble, if it was called a fumble. I'm not sure. But Paul Morris once again getting it done.
Reminding me of a Roquan Smith type. He's big, but he's moving. Here's a quick wide receiver screen to the near side and driven back. This Pointers defense is playing with some vinegar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are every single screen pass so far. The Pointers have been there to make the play, and now a 3rd and 5. And like you said, Jacob, they're playing with some vinegar.
Oh, my goodness. Someone spiked their Gatorade, clearly. All right, 3rd and 4. Albion needing something here.
Pointers fans getting loud.
Absolutely. Murray's in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. And it is going to be a throw. Rainbow's to a wide open man. And he will get the momentum, it seems, to earn the first down.
And that was the tight end, Connor Davey, just kind of going out on a little sideline pass. Out 5, I want to say like a 3-yard out route, speed out they call it. Making the play and getting that first down for Albion.
Wow, they originally had it close. They were going to say 4th and inches, but last second they give them the first down. So they're going to run this out of the pistol. Inside run, maybe 1 yard, maybe 2.
And we get underneath the 5-minute mark now, so Albion's got to score on this drive. You got to get some momentum going into that second half. They do get the ball back to start that second half. So if you can score a touchdown and they get another touchdown on that first possession, then this game would be all tied up.
2nd and 8. This one's out of the shotgun, not the pistol. It is an inside run. Got through the first level and will get the Britons another first down. So if you notice, when they earn a new pair of sticks, they like to run it out of the pistol when they start their drives. It seems like they're liking to run it out of the pistol. Then they'll stack the box for the next couple of plays, run it out of the shotgun formation. I mean, I kind of like what they're doing. It is a little bit of variability. But see, this one's a first down, and they're running this out of the shotgun. So it's clearly not bread and butter. They're trying to throw off this defense. Here on first down, Pointers might bring a blitz, and they do on the inside run. Gain of about 3 yards on the carry for Albion.
Yeah, the blitz didn't really work out there, considering that they came on the outside.
Yep.
The ball was ran right in the inside. Worked out perfectly for Albion, even though it was a short gain. It's the best possible outcome there for the Britons.
I was just going to say that. They brought an exterior blitz, and when it's an inside run, you're forcing more of that pressure to the exterior of the tackles, which isn't necessarily where the run is going. So it didn't work there, but now they're running this out of the pistol here on 2nd and 7. Murray, inside run. And he was met up. Denied by Lance Schultz, the linebacker, senior out of Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin.
Yeah, great play there from the linebacker making the play. And now it's 3rd and 5 here. We'll see what Albion's going to do. I'm gonna assume they're going to go with another screen pass here. Maybe to the wide receiver, Cameron Moore. You notice that Johnson is back in there for the Britons now.
On 3rd and 6, Murray to pass, pressure coming. It is a screen, but broken up. Got the hand up there for the Pointers defense, and it is 4th down.
And you're starting to notice here that the Britons feel comfortable with that screen play, that halfback screen. I was surprised they didn't go to the wideout screen there, but that seems to be what their offense is just cheeky little, screen passes to get something going. But there, the Pointers shut it down, and now they have a chance to put some more points on the board before the end of the first half.
Yeah, you kind of said it best. You saw that coming. You saw the screen coming. I read it too. It was a little predictable, and that's why the stop happened. So the punt is away for Albion. They'll let that drop, and it'll be fielded around the 20-yard line. So we got to keep in mind, 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in this first half. The Pointers have access to 2 of their timeouts left. So we'll see how they utilize them on this drive.
We're going to get a great look here at the 2-minute team here for the Pointers. See what they can do. It kind of shows how they're going to play towards an end of the game. If something like this were to happen where you're down by a score, you got to get something going very quickly, tempo offense. But we'll see what Charlie Smith's going to do here out of the shotgun with a little bit of motion.
So to start it here for the Pointers, it is an inside run and not much gained. And it looks like this will wind down with about 2 minutes.
And I believe it's going to go to the 2-minute warning here.
Indeed, it will, and that, it doesn't count as a timeout, but it gives the Pointers some time to think. It gives the defense time to be like, okay, we've seen what the Stevens Point offense has done on their scoring drives. How do we respond to that, and how do we respond to our offense not being able to score yet? So they're looking for the turnover, but obviously you don't want to play too aggressive, because then when that happens, a guy slips open, you can't allow a wide open touchdown within this final 2 minutes. So it's a 2-minute drill for the Pointers, and defensively it's going to be some deep coverage if they want to go deep. We'll see what it looks like. Brett, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of passes intended for Austin Phillips. I think they're going to try and get him here on a one-on-one coverage. The safeties haven't been really dropping back and double teaming him necessarily, so we'll see if something happens here between Phillips and the Pointers as they are going back to that Wildcat formation. Charlie Smith is on the outside. Cashin will take the ball here. So we'll see what happens.
2 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 8 for the Pointers. Smith keeps it, runs up the middle, bouncing it, and swarmed by the Albion defenders.
And I just don't really understand that play call. Now you're 3rd and long here. Timeout for Albion. I feel like it would have been better if they went to a pass here, then decide what to do from there. But, yeah, I don't understand the Wildcat formation call here.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned it earlier, or at least in the last break for the 2-minute warning, and I completely agree. Austin Phillips, you got to watch him on those deep plays. They tried that once earlier on a drive, and it was second down, and they relied on him to create that separation to get open on the deep ball. And, of course, he couldn't come down with it. You got to watch him to target again.
Just a reminder, you're listening to WWSP Stevens Point, presented by Pointer Studios.
Yep, if you're watching, live stream is on the WIAC Network, brought to you by Pointer Studios. Thank you for anybody listening or watching. It is 3rd and 9, 1:50 to go. A lot of decisions needed to be made. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. And
sure enough, you have that one-on-one coverage.
Yeah.
The safety shifting a little bit to the right, so we'll see if he decides to go there. He's going to drop more to the middle.
Smith on the rollout, trying to find some space. Now he fires, and it's caught for the first down. Well played by the Pointers offense, and they're going to hurry it up.
And
Clock running.
We haven't talked about him at all. That's Andrew Miller playing that slot wide receiver, coming all the way across, kind of a crosser route, making the play and getting that first down here with a hurry-up offense.
Fast tempo on 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Smith takes a snap, wants to throw again, and he will. Ball is batted up and falls incomplete. Well played and nice pressure from the Albion defensive front.
Yeah, the Britons only had one safety on that big play by Miller. This time they drop back to a 2-safety look with the strong and the free, both dropping back. The corners are a little bit more spaced off compared to that man-to-man press they had going on before.
2nd and 10 with 1:29. Smith in the shotgun with the back lined up to his right. Fakes the end around. It is a drop, the middle, and nothing. That, I don't think, was the play call on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that one either, Jacob. You kind of had the motion going on. You had that spread, but wing tee kind of going on. I don't really necessarily understand it, but we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
And Albion calls their 2nd timeout of the half, so clearly they want that time. They believe they could take that deep shot with about a minute so or under a minute to go left to try to get some points on the board. And we have to keep in mind, Albion starts the 2nd half with the football. The Pointers started this game with the ball. So Albion has the opportunity to tie this up to start the 2nd half. So interesting to see here.
Yeah, if the Pointers end up getting to Albion territory, I would assume they're just going to go with a field goal here with the time. But if Albion, like you said, gets a stop, they gotta be able to go for. They gotta have the intentions of going for a touchdown.
Big 3rd down. Here's the snap. Smith with pressure. It is a screen, and he falls down immediately after the catch.
And just an overthrow there from Smith. He backed up about 10 yards. Kind of reminds me of a 1950s quarterback just kind of draw backing and throwing it there, but overthrows Cash, and he falls down immediately, and now Albion has a really good chance to get something going before the end of the 1st half.
You heard it first from the head official, but Albion calls their final timeout of the 1st half. The Pointers still have 2 timeouts that maybe they'll hold on to. Probably not. They just want to end this half. You know, that drive didn't go the way they wanted to. This would be absolutely the most insane move if they try to go for it here on 4th and 12 from their own 36. I don't think that's the plan. I think they got to get some protection here, punt it down the field, try to stop Albion in their own territory, and enter the 2nd half with a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, I agree, Jacob. I don't believe they're not gonna go for it here. They are gonna punt it away. Dakota Stroud off to punt this one. But if I'm Albion here, you got to do everything possible to get a return going.
Absolutely.
You can't fair catch it. You can't let the ball bounce. You need your best chance as possible. Try and get something going.
Decent punt here. Fielded from the 25. Met up and brought down at the 30-yard line. So with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go, that is where the Britons will start this drive. Could be the final drive of this 1st half. What a game it's been so far.
And Murray cannot overthrow anything this drive. If you force another turnover here and let the Pointers get another possession in before the end of the first half, it could be costly for Albion.
Absolutely. You know, that's what a guy like number 1, Xander Pop, on the defense is going to be looking for. I'd watch him.
Pop's not even in.
So on 1st and 10 with 1:06, Murray takes the snap, steps up, throws over the middle, caught. Nice moves, breaking tackles. Look at this. Finally tripped up after the first down gained.
And here goes the hurry-up offense. Catch was made by Dylan Dennison right across the middle on a little slant route.
Murray, quick throw, caught at the 45, spun down to the 46. Somewhat of a gain. Clock will still be running, though.
And Dennison with another catch. He's shifty for sure. Spin move and a quick dive.
Fast tempo under 40 seconds and rolling. Murray takes the snap, looking far side, throws that way, somehow caught. What an effort. Almost broken up by the Pointers. But now, 31 seconds left. They're driving into Stevens Point territory.
And that's Dylan Dennison again. The 3rd catch in a row just over the defender's slot or nickel corner, making the grab and barely getting the feet in for a first down.
So with 31 seconds left, it's 1st and 10. Murray, play action, has time, stepping up. Now he throws, and he just throws it away. So that stops the clock with 24 seconds. They have a little time to work things out. Limited pressure there from the Pointers defensively.
And here's my idea. I feel like you go one more play, try and get a short gain here, try to get to around that 35-yard line, and then that next play you go to the end zone on a deep shot, and then you just play it there from 4th down. I feel like that's the best possible outcome here because you don't have any timeouts left, so you can't go anything to the middle.
2nd down, Murray, quick throw. It is caught, brought down. There he is, Xander Pop, clock running. Albion has to hurry it up. It is 3rd down, under 15 seconds. Now with 10 seconds, here's the snap. Murray, it is a quick toss, brought down inbounds. That's not the play. Clock is running, and that's going to take us to halftime. Not at all how Albion wanted that half to end. The Pointers did everything they could defensively. A 14-0 game as we take it in to halftime. A great start to the season so far for the Pointers. If you're watching this online, this is on the WIAC Network, brought to you by Pointer Studios. And if you're listening, audio is brought to you by WWSP 90 FM. Hello, everybody, and welcome back into this Saturday D3 college football matchup where the Albion Britons out of Michigan are taking on your UWSP Stevens Point Pointers. And so we got a nice game going on here so far. And again, if you're watching this online, this game is on the WIAC Network, brought to you by Pointer Studios. And if you're listening, this is brought to you by 90 FM WWSP. Brett, you want some stats to talk about after this first half, 14-0, led by Stevens Point?
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to kind of go over on the Albion side here. Ethan Murray is just kind of missing everything. He's overthrown a lot of passes, not completing a lot. And we'll see if they decide to go with him. I'm sure they will. Not a great offensive showing. Overall, though, he's 10 of 20, 50 yards with a long of 12. But they've been running the ball a lot. 14 carries for Alex Trudell, 61 yards, the long of 13, and behind him, Jerome Turner with 3 carries for 12 yards. On the other side of the ball, for the Pointers, they've been kind of doing a little bit of both. Charlie Smith, 9 of 17, 51 yards, 1 touchdown, the long of 17. He's been playing pretty well, I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
He's been staying in the pocket, relaxed, and that first drive was a really good showing of what he's been doing so far. Running-wise, though, 10 carries, 47 yards for Bryson Cash and Reed Smith, 5 carries, 31 yards, and receiving, the leading wide receiver with two receptions for 13 yards is Austin Phillips.
Absolutely. Thank you for those first half stats brought to you by the Brett McNamara. Very much an exciting game so far. You mentioned that first drive really struck into the narrative that the Pointers wanted: aggressive, fast, physical, and a dynamic offense. Albion, you talked about Murray throwing 2 interceptions the first half. The defense has capitalized. Albion also making other mistakes. Had that last-minute drive. They tried going down the field, and time expired. They couldn't get into scoring position.
Exactly. So now with Albion receiving it here, you got to see a little bit more tempo. You got to build that chemistry up with your team, and they haven't done that at all throughout this first half. So we'll see if they can do that in the second half. And for the Pointers on the defensive side, you got to stop the run. The run game and the screens, that's what they're trying to go to. That's what Albion's trying to do. And they're doing it kind of well. It's here and there, but we'll see if they continue with that.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure what's happening here. I think the officials or someone spotted the ball on the wrong side of the field, because to start the game, the Pointers received on the left side of your screen, if you're watching this online, or the left side of the field, the south side of the stadium. However, they're going to be kicking from the south side, and Albion will be receiving from the north side of the stadium here to start half number 2. So it looks like they've got things figured out now.
And like we mentioned before about this Pointers offense, completely new. The schemes, the formations, they're changing up a lot of things, and we're loving it up here in the booth. I think the fans are enjoying it. Every single play, everybody's watching. And it makes it more exciting when you have different formations and different things you're doing offensively. So we'll see if they continue with that. I'm sure they will, and here we go.
Ready to go here in the second half. And the kick is away. Be fielded by Albion. Inside the 10, they're taking it up to the 20. And getting some room down to the 25, and that is where the Britons will start here in the second half.
We'll see, like I said, if Murray can get his completions down. He hasn't really done that. He's overthrown a lot. Easy passes. We saw a little bit of a good completion rating towards the end of that first half when they tried to get something going, as they threw it a lot to the wide receiver, Dylan Dennison. So we'll see if he decides to go to him more from the slot.
They're running this one out of the pistol. Murray. Outside run. Here's the speed. What a tackle. A big tackle for loss for this Pointers defense.
And that was number 9, Josh Kristoff, from all the way on the other side of the football field, making the play on the handoff. And a great play there. Getting out there, a loss of 3. And we'll see if the Pointers can continue this great defensive presence.
You're seeing a lot of different pointers make defensive plays here in the play action. It's a quick toss on the screen, and the tackle is made. Wow. Pointers coming up big time defensively in this backfield.
And that's Joe Behrens from the inside linebacker spot. Usually we've been talking a lot about Paul Morris, but this time Behrens making the play, the senior from Wausau, and now a 3rd and long for the Pointers. I wouldn't be surprised here if they go to a zone defense. They've been going with a lot of man. It looks like it could be man, but we'll see what happens here.
3rd and 12. Murray in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. He takes the snap, wanting to pass. Pressure coming. He jumps and throws. Broken up, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pointers.
And sure enough, they drop into that zone coverage, and it works out perfectly. Murray tries to force the ball, but the safety was there to intercept it. That was Jack Leducky making the play. Talked about him a little bit earlier. This time he gets the interception, and the Pointers are in Albion territory, sitting at the 39-yard line.
Ludke making the play. Other guys making plays. Joe Behrens, Lance Schultz. This is a very spread out Pointers defense, but now here's the offense. Smith in the shotgun. It is an outside run and tripped up by the Albion defender. Nice play to try to swing the momentum back in the Britons' favor.
And that's exactly what you need after an interception, the 3rd turnover of the day for Albion and Murray. Defensive side of the ball needs to make plays to keep the Pointers from scoring, because even any more points here, it's 14-0 already. Pushing that to 21-0 will really get that into blowout territory.
Three total turnovers for the Pointers defense. Albion will want to make some of their own. Under center is Charlie Smith. He's on the rollout and tackled in the backfield. Back-to-back backfield plays for this Britons defense.
Yeah, it's the outside linebacker, Devin Buskin, getting in the backfield and getting to Smith quickly. They ran that wing T formation, tried to push it all the way to the left. The running backs and the linemen were all going that way, and it just didn't work out well, and they didn't track from the backside.
I've seen Buskin a lot. He's playing this kind of outside type perimeter feel, drop back into coverage, but right there he stepped up, made the play.
Yeah, he's playing that kind of that nickel linebacker
Absolutely.
spot. You see it a lot from Evan Williams and Javon Bullard.
3rd and 14, Smith on the rollout. Looking downfield, now he fires. It is caught. What a grab. I believe that was Wiechek on the reception.
It was Braden Wiechek making up for the drop on his last intended pass. This time a big play for the Pointers, resulting in a 1st down. They're set up at the 30-yard line. And I'm going to say it's not actually a 1st down. It's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 1 now.
And they're going to go for it. We just saw the replay of the catch on the scoreboard here in the stadium. A sensational grab. Still, it's 4th and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised here if they fake it to Cashin and go on a reverse, but
timeout called. Stevens Point calls their first timeout of this second half. And obviously, you know, we've already talked about it. What's the theme of this game? For this new Pointer squad in the year 2025, it's aggression. And what are they doing by going for this 4th down play? They're being aggressive.
Well, along with being aggressive, they're playing competitive football.
Absolutely.
And it's looking very well, whether it's offensively or defensively. You got 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions. They're looking great on both sides of the ball. Yes, it's 14-0, but that's not compared to the way that they've been playing today.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with how many takeaways they've gotten in the air, not necessarily by fumbles, but offensively, this is quick tempo, making big decisions, making tough decisions, especially on that throw there. He got the throw to the right spot, but it's 4th and 1. They're running this out of the shotgun. It is a run. Cashin will get there and more. Breaks free to the 10, the 5, and shoved out of bounds. There is a penalty. That might have been a late hit or a horse collar tackle. What a play by the senior Bryson Cashin.
And that's the 3rd time they've ran that Wildcat formation. The first 2 times hasn't really worked out. This time Cashin breaks a tackle, gets around the outside. almost scores a touchdown. They're inside the 5 now. And another penalty is called. So this is going to be
on
at
Albion.
the distance to the goal. And here we go, Jacob. The
Wow.
big play that the Pointers needed from Bryson Cashin finally happens.
So they mark it at the 1. Sorry, it looks like they've marked it at the 2.
And here's the Wildcat once again.
Cashin lined up in the backfield. They know it's a run. And it is. Cashin is in the end zone for the touchdown. No. They say he didn't get it.
If I'm the Pointers here, I say you just let Charlie Smith QB sneak it, get a couple big guys back there, push them in. Saw it, about a decade ago, B.J. Raji in there.
Absolutely. They might do another Wildcat formation. Here we go. The center's lined up on the
And
ball.
the wide receiver, we've seen this before. It's going to be a hurry-up, quick play here.
It is an under center for Charlie Smith. It is a handoff.
Now he's in.
And waiting for the signal. Still no signal. There it is. Touchdown, Stevens Point.
Bryson Cashin, after getting the big gain of about 35 yards on the Wildcat rush, finally gets into the end zone to make it 20-0 Pointers. Second rushing touchdown of the day for the Pointers. One from Reed Smith, this time from the starting running back, Bryson Cashin. And the Pointers are looking great so far to start the season.
Extra point attempt is good and through the uprights. A 21-0 lead. What a response. Defensively, Albion looked like they had something going and ended up not going in their favor with an interception. And what did the Pointers do? They capitalize off the turnover, scoring an incredible throw made by Charlie Smith to the outside. Wecheck making a catch on that drive led to a rushing touchdown for the senior Bryson Cashin and the lead back for this team.
And a thing that I'm noticing about this team, they have an identity. I feel like last year it was kind of tough. You had different quarterbacks going in there. The few games that they played at the start of the season, it was either Zay Zegner, it was Jake Lier. We saw a little bit of Charlie Smith. But this time the Pointers, you can kind of see who their star players are and who they're going to, and they've all played great so far.
Absolutely. Very much the correct way to start your season, but it's not like the game is over yet. We still have a solid quarter and a half, at least, of football yet to be played. The Pointers line it up to kick it off once again. And the kick is away. And it's going to be taken from about the 10. There's Johnson again, met up by the Pointers. Couldn't get to the 25. Good stop for this Stevens Point special teams. Here comes Ali Murray, the quarterback for Albion, heading on to the field, meeting up with the rest of his offense.
Yeah, the Britons haven't really gone to a deep pass since that big long shot intended for Johnson. They've just been kind of tinkering with that screen offensive mindset, so we'll see if they continue with that.
They definitely needed to make some halftime adjustments.
The Pointers look like they're showing man. It's going to be man.
It is a handoff on the play. Breaking to the outside. Look at this. A first down for the Britons and a nice start for this drive for Albion.
Yeah, Alex Trudell breaking a tackle, getting around the outside about the right side hashes. Picks up a first down for the Britons, and that's exactly what they need. But you can't rely on the run game. The run game is doing the dirty work for the Britons. You got to splash in a little bit of a passing game, so we'll see if they do that.
Here on the pistol, it is an inside run and met up by this Pointers defensive line. Maybe got a yard. Not much out of that. It is second down.
Yeah, Trudell getting the handoff, back-to-back plays here. This time, the Pointers defensive line getting into the backfield for a no gain, and you saw a lot of that in that first half. The Pointers defensive tackles breaking up the run game.
Big man Overbeck's going to be a big part. Murray throws over the middle. It is caught. Nice breakout, but finally blasted down by the linebackers. And it will be third down Albion.
Braden Fracassi getting the completion, breaking a tackle, and now a third and short from the 45-yard line. So if I'm the Britons here, Jacob, I feel like they need to go to a pass here. I feel like the run game, the Pointers are expecting that. I feel like they're going to blitz here. I have a really strong belief that they're going to blitz here, so we'll see if that happens.
They're definitely bringing pressure. It is an inside handoff. Slipping through, he will get the first down. Nice pop by the Pointers defender, but still winds up in a new set of downs for Albion.
Yeah, good job there from Truttle, getting the carry, getting the first down, and Albion needs this. They need to do the little things to pick up the first down because the big things aren't working.
Quick snap and another inside run. They're really relying on this run game. Met up by the defenders, got maybe about a yard, and that's what they'll give him.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of noticing that the Pointers went away from that one safety defensive formation. They're doing a drop back safeties into that cover 3, I want to say. So we'll see. Pointers stick to man.
Murray's going to throw. Ball is batted up in the air. He catches his own pass. We've seen it twice today as he's tackled in the backfield. I don't think in a football game I've ever seen not only this many passes defended right at the line of scrimmage, but twice in the same game by two different quarterbacks. They receive their own pass. Oh, my goodness.
Jacob, we are really seeing it all. The Spud Bowl is making it a game today. So big third and long now for the Britons. The Pointers need a stop.
3rd and 13, getting loud here from the dog pound. Murray to pass, stepping up in the pocket. Now he fires, and it falls incomplete. A little too far forward. He rifled that. That was a fastball.
And Murray's just getting rushed in that pocket. Good job staying in the pocket, trying to look through the different routes and your progressions, and it hasn't been working. Realistically, you're trying to go to that number one option. When he's not there, you need to start rolling out of the pocket, get out of the pocket, because by the time you want to make a play, it starts collapsing, and that time it almost did, and it forced them to miss another pass.
Albion forced to punt it away here on 4th and 13. And it looks like that's a false start on Albion. We'll wait for the call. Definitely some movement. Definitely not what you wanted. All these mistakes being made just leads to that feeling of disparity. It's already a 21-0 game. You couldn't convert on that drive, and just getting a sloppy mistake penalty forces them back even further.
We'll see if the Pointers decide to let the ball roll here. They haven't really had a punt return.
Punt is away. Nice flyer. Fair catch called at the 24-yard line for Stevens Point. That was Xander Pop. And honestly, I get why you call the fair catch, but I think if he leaned into the ball, he could have kept it to the near side and probably got some more yards out of that.
Yeah, and to be fair, they are up 21-0.
That's true.
You don't want anything to happen, especially a fumble. Give that momentum to Albion inside of Pointer territory. As we see Zach Lynch and Reed Smith both out there for the Pointers. Lynch going in motion here.
The score on the last drive, this first play, I should say, is a run, but going to be a loss of yards on the handoff there. Zach Lynch was the back.
Yeah, Lynch hasn't really gotten going. The sophomore trying to do something.
It's no gain on the carry, so it remains. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. Smith is in the shotgun with the back lined up to his right. Got some motion here. They fake the end around. Smith going deep down the field, and Weechek can't hold on. Pass might have been tipped by the defender. Marion Backstresser, the sophomore for Albion.
Yeah, we checked just over his fingertips. I believe, like you said, Jacob, it was tipped. And that's just a tough play. You had Wecheck maybe open. It's really close there. Ultimately, it does force an incompletion, and now a 3rd and long for the Pointers.
It's tough when you can only get one hand up there. Nonetheless, 3rd and 10. It is a pitch to the far side of the field. Does he have the angle? He does not. Out of bounds around the 31-yard line. So it'll wind up 4th down as the special teams unit heads on to the field.
Zach Lynch with the carry again there. Like I said, he just really hasn't gotten going yet. Tries to bounce it outside.
So it looks like there's a game clock issue here in the stadium. They're remedying that right now. Either way, Pointers are forced to punt it away from their own 30-yard line.
I just realized, Jacob, how packed the stands are.
Oh, it's a packed house for sure.
And they're loving it here, too. Almost blocked.
That was close. Be a return from the 35. Making some moves. Breaks one tackle. Cutting to the other side of the field and finally brought down. That could have been the biggest tackle on that potential return, because if he slips through the hands of that guy, he's got all the space in the near side of the field to make a big return.
Yeah, and that play does not, if he would have got outside, Brandon Morrissey, the freshman, making the play, but if he would have beat Morrissey there, I'm going to say that's going to be a pretty big gain, maybe even a touchdown.
Could be. For
the Britons, and they need something. This offensive drive needs to be the make or break. This could be a turning point. We're in the about halfway through the 3rd quarter here, 5:38 left to go. They got to do something.
We'll see if Ali Murray can start this drive off right for his Britons offense. In the pistol formation, the back lined up. It is a play action on the rollout. Murray with pressure gets the throw off, and it falls incomplete, way overthrown. Not the best start to the drive, but it is no gain.
And Murray just rolling out. The Pointers played that great. They had a zone defense out there. Nobody was really open. There's 2 guys in the area of the deep shot wide receiver, and then just the check down wasn't really a big gain, so Murray just kind of throws it in the area of the 2.
On 2nd down, this will be an inside handoff for a gain of 2 yards maybe, not much. So it will be 3rd and long.
I think I'm noticing with this Pointers defense, it's not just one dog getting there. It's a whole pack of dogs. They're all there, all at the same time. Once one hits, they all hit in one big bunch, and it's just working so well. This defense has been excellent.
Dogs travel in packs, Brett. 3rd and 6. Murray in the shotgun formation takes the snap. Pressure coming, evades the sack, and finally brought down from behind.
I don't think it was necessarily a sack, but Cruz Calvillo making the big play. Murray tried to step up in the pocket, not sure if he was going to throw it or run it, but brought down by the defensive lineman, and a big stop here for the Pointers as they'll get the ball back.
Calvillo is the next Pointer defender to make a big play on a 3rd down. A lot of different playmakers in this game so far. We're not even to the 4th quarter yet, Brett. Albion forced to punt it away once more.
And sooner or later, Albion's got to change what's going on because they're trying everything and nothing's been working.
Oh, what? He made the fair catch signal at the 21 but tried to actually return it. I think that was just a mental error. He had the hand up. That was just the popular, as some of my friends like to refer the Doctor Strange hand motion. It's to signal to the officials as well, to the other team, that you're giving yourself up. This is me receiving the ball and I'm not moving. However, once you try to advance yourself after that, that's misleading and you can't do that.
Exactly. And like you said, I think it's just that he wanted to run the ball.
Yeah.
But the coaches are telling him to fair catch, so it just could be some confusion. But the Pointers going to take over here at the 22.
First play, it is an inside run. And he might have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to give him a yard here. That was Reed Smith on the carry. And I gotta give a shout out to Charlie Smith. He's been playing great today. He's staying calm. He's staying collective. He's playing well. Compared to last year, there's a lot of confusion of what was going on in that offense. But today, the offense has been pretty much perfect for the Pointers, 21-0. We'll see if they continue it going into this fourth quarter.
They motion we check. It is an end around. We check has it. Decent gain. It will still be third down. And really quick, you mentioned it, the turnover differential. Charlie Smith playing with his head on straight, not turning over the ball. Looking at last year's matchup, it was a one-score game, but Albion won it in their home turf. The biggest difference was no turnovers by their offense, 2 turnovers for the Pointers offense, and that's what kind of lost the Pointers that game. They're winning in that category today.
Exactly. On that last play, that end around, it was a gain of 6, but that doesn't happen unless Reed Smith doesn't make that block.
Play action. Smith wants to go deep. Now he's in trouble, and he's thrown down. Big-time sack. Did the ball come out?
They're going to call him down, I believe, Jacob. The sack.
They rule him down, but nonetheless, a major play for this Albion defense. They need anything to happen.
As Joshua Cambo making the play and the sack, forcing the Pointers to punt. And back-to-back drives now, 3 and out. And you keep on thinking every single drive here that results in the 3 and out for the Pointers, you think that's momentum for Albion. And then the Pointers defense just makes that leap and steps up and forces Albion to 3 and out. So it's just a battle of 3 and outs with the Pointers playing better offensively.
Absolutely. That one's a high flyer. Called as a fair catch from the Albion 47. And you mentioned that, the back-to-back 3 and outs. But the difference is, as an offense, you want to take down that clock and give your defense some time to rest and recover, because then they can't be as sharp. They won't be given enough stamina for that next drive. They're going to be a little bit more worn down, and then offense can chip away at them a little bit more. So offensively, the Pointers wanted to at least advance the sticks maybe a couple more time, take I'd say 2 to 3 more minutes off the clock. But either way, Albion has some pretty good position to start here from their own 47.
And we're starting to look a little bit more realistically here. Albion has about 4 to 5 more offensive drives here, and they're down by 3 scores. They got to do something. It starts now. It's almost the end of the third quarter.
It's a handoff from Murray, tripping down into Pointers territory. Oh, my goodness. You saw 2 of the big Albion offensive linemen combining on a pancake block down the field. Didn't really matter that much, as it was only, it was still a decent gain, 6-yard gain for Albion.
Yeah, nice run here. Truttle's been really putting the team on his back, getting some big-time carries. We'll see if he can eventually break out one, as a blitz is being shown here from the Pointers.
From the hard count now, here is the play action. Quick throw is almost intercepted. That would have been number 4 of the game. Murray did not see him, and right after he threw it, got blasted. This Pointers defense is all over this football field.
Well, they're playing that zone defense. I feel like the Pointers are playing this perfectly. They know when to run the zone defense. Charlie Anderson just drops it. He had the chance to throw an have an interception, and Murray's just forcing at this point. He needs to actually look at his progressions and realize that's not open, but it seems it doesn't matter for him.
Third down, Pointers show blitz. They bring it. Murray, it's a screen, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended man. Might have been a little extra contact there at the end of the play, but it doesn't warrant a penalty. Another 4th down from Albion, and like you said, another 3 and out. Seems like both offenses are starting to stall here with about 1:22 heading into quarter number 4.
And it's another drop here, but they're going to keep the offense out there for Albion, and I feel like you really have to. You're finally into Pointers territory. It's only about 4 yards. I think they got to go pass here. I can't see why you would rely on the run here.
On 4th and 4, they're going for it.
Blitz is coming.
Here comes the blitz. Play action. Murray hit as he throws it down the field, and it is incomplete. No flags. It is a turnover on downs. The Pointers are taking over.
Just a wonky pass there from Murray. You saw the spiral. It was not really a spiral. It looks like me throwing a football in 4th grade. I just couldn't get it there. So Pointers force a 4th down, 3 and out. I would say, I guess, 4 and out now.
Yes.
Considering it, but
Now the throw only came off like that because the 5th man they brought on the blitz hit Murray, so it affected his throwing pattern, it affected his motion where it wobbled in the air.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. The Pointers are doing exactly what they need to do. They know when to blitz. They know when to play zone defense.
Right situationally.
Yes, exactly.
First play for the Pointers, the play action. Smith with the long throw. It is caught. No. Incomplete.
Pass intended for Matt Getkin. We haven't talked about him a lot as he just drops it on an opportunity to pick up a first down.
And he's taken out on this next play. Nope.
And
Thought he was taken out, but he's coming back into the huddle.
Excuse me. It was kind of a low throw there from Smith, but yeah, Getkin's just got to catch it there.
All good. 2nd and 10 now. About a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. Smith in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. They fake an end around. It is a drop the middle. Looks like it's Cash and the ball is out. It is a fumble, and it's recovered by the Britons.
And there it is, Jacob. Finally, the Pointers make a mistake on a fumble from Bryson Cashin. Popped out right before he touches the ground. And now Albion in Pointers territory. Is this finally the momentum that they are going to get to push over the edge and finally get in the end zone?
That's Bryson Cashin, the senior, trying to recover from his junior campaign where he missed a lot of the season with injury, has had a significant game so far, obviously scoring the 3rd Pointers touchdown, but fumbling there was not what he wanted. So now it's a turnover with about a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, starting the pistol formation. Murray takes the snap. It is a play action. He's throwing deep. Down the near side. It is caught, and it is ruled in bounds. A sensational grab. And it's now 1st and goal for the Britons.
And there it is, back-to-back momentum-gaining plays. Here comes the tempo offense. Cameron Moore gets the feed in.
They almost caught too many men on the field. It is a run driven back. Wow, that was played very well by the Albion offense. Almost got a free penalty as well if they had too many men on the field for the Pointers.
Yeah, going back to the last play, just a deep shot inside the 10-yard line. Cameron Moore getting that left foot barely in. What a grab there from Moore. And this is what you need for Albion with under 30 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. And a timeout's going to be called by Albion.
So if you're watching this online through the WIAC network, it's brought to you by Pointer Studios. And if you're listening, audio is brought to you by UWSP 90 FM radio.
And yeah, this is just a sensational drive so far for Albion. They really need it going into this 4th quarter. But can the Pointers get the stop? If they can get a stop here, I have very high hopes for this team going throughout the season.
Absolutely. This is a statement moment. They had all the momentum in the world, but the minute Bryson Cashin, their lead running back, fumbles the football, there seemed to be a bit of a switch, and they tried the deep ball right away. What did it do? It worked. Following play, fast tempo, trying to catch the defense off guard. They almost do get a nice game. It's now 2nd and goal. They only need 4 yards. So this is the exact situation you want for Albion. But for the Pointers defense, this is the mark you make for your season.
Exactly, and I think the Pointers just weren't expecting a big pass attempt there on that 1st down. Usually, Albion's been going to those big passes on 2nd and 3rd down. This time, it works going on 1st down. We'll see if they continue with that throughout this ball game.
Only 17 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Murray is going to run it himself. Has some patience. And for a second, the Pointers thought it was a fumble, but Murray was clearly down. It looks like they'll only give him a yard, so it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3 when we come back into quarter number 4. Oh, my goodness. A great game so far. A fun finish to the 3rd quarter, but we still got 15 minutes of football left, baby.
It's been great so far, Jacob. I've been loving every moment. It's been an exciting football game.
The last few seasons just haven't been exciting. This time, it's time to change it.
Yes, the Pointers have had some moments in the past. Have had some fun moments as well. But, you know, it all starts from how you start the season. It also matters how you finish it, of course, but that's the future. We're living in the present. We're living in a current moment where UWSP is winning 21-0 in their home opener. And, you know, this is going to be big. A lot of people consider this the SEC of D3 football, the WIAC. This conference is immense. There's a lot of firepower, and the Pointers want to be in that conversation. And what are they doing? They're showing up, not just in one facet. Offensively, defensively, minimal mistakes in terms of penalties. It's been so far a fairly clean game. Obviously, that turnover from Bryson Cashin is the first major mistake. But either way, so some really nice stuff offensively. But now defensively, we've talked about it. 3 turnovers, 3 separate interceptions. What's going to be big here, they're going to try to run it at least maybe 1 point. It is 3rd and goal, so we'll see. They could try back-to-back runs or throwing here.
And I think you need to go to Alex Trudell. He's got 21 carries for 94 yards. Can he finally get in the end zone here?
They're taking this out of the pistol. It's 3rd and goal. It is an inside run. Is he stopped? He is. He is short of the goal line. Stood up by the Pointers defense, and it's decision time.
Sure enough, Alex Trudell gets the carry. And like you said, Jacob, it is decision time. This is the turning point of the game. Second play of the 4th quarter. Can the Pointers get the stop, or will Albion get on the board?
Murray's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. It is an end around, and he's in. Touchdown, Britons.
And sure enough, it's the guy who got them down there, the wide receiver, Cameron Moore, getting the end zone on the end around. He had the big play on the drive, the gain of 40 yards on the big reception, and finally gets in the end zone for Albion to cut into the lead. It's now 21-6, awaiting the extra point.
Cameron Moore, sensational game, sensational drive. Senior out of Van Buren Township, Michigan. Albion lines up for the extra point. Kick is up, and he nailed it. 21-7 game. That was big time. Albion attempting their comeback all within the 4th quarter. Can they do it?
And now the Pointers, I mean, if they get on offense here, you can't have a 3-and-out.
That's true.
That's the last thing that you want. A 3-and-out just gives Albion even more momentum. And it started from the fumble by Bryson Cash, and we saw it. Fumble, big gain, touchdown. You get a 3-and-out now, that just makes it even more harder for the Pointers to have this lead throughout the whole game.
Yeah, it's not only the mental momentum, which is a very real thing, but it's also the physical. It's the tiredness. You know, the defense just got driven down. It was a quick drive, but they were coming back from a quick drive. So they need this time to recover. They have to establish the mistakes they made on that previous drive, the deep ball, that jet sweep that they weren't expecting. So they're right now on the bench. They need some time to recover. And the offense, if they can drive down a score, that might be the nail in the coffin this Pointer team needs. Although Albion, great effort on that previous drive.
And we're going to watch this kickoff here, Jacob. They're lining up the ball towards the right side of the hashes. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go with a little bit of a squib kick, as there is a little bit of a motion here. We'll see if they change something.
And it's just a straight drive of a kick, bounces at the 5, and out of bounds. That's a penalty.
And that is not what you want.
No.
Pushing the Pointers at the 30-yard line now. I believe the 30, if I'm correct.
We'll see here where they mark it.
But the Pointers just, they got to get something going offensively. Even if you can get a couple first downs, it wastes the clock. Then you punt it away and push them into.
Yep, it will be placed at the 35-yard line, so that's a big help for the Pointers offense. Just a little over 14 minutes to go left in the game. They got to take advantage. Here is Charlie Smith lined up in the shotgun formation with the back lined up to his left. It is a pitch to the near side. Nice little run past the 40, cuts inside and taken out of bounds near midfield. That is a Pointers first down, so already eliminates the possibility of a 3-and-out. Nice start.
Exactly, and that's Zach Lynch. Finally, he gets that first down he's been hoping for. getting around the outside on a little pitch from Smith as they're going to go with a little bit of a tempo offense, and I love this. I think this really pushes the momentum away from Albion.
It's a quick snap. Fakes the pitch. Nice draw play. Charlie Smith. Oh, the ball came out. Is that back-to-back drives with a fumble? No signal yet of who had the ball. Albion took the, wow. It's ruled Britain's ball. I mean, there is no instant replay system here in D3 football, but you didn't even have a chance to look. The Britons snagged the ball right away and just ran to their sideline celebrating. So it's going to be ruled a turnover, back-to-back fumble drives. Oh, my goodness.
And here we go, Jacob. Exactly what it can't happen. It really can't. A fumble on back-to-back possessions, and the momentum, just when you thought it was going away for Albion, snap of a finger, it's right back.
I mean, you got to give credit to Albion's defense coming up big time. Now only down 2 possessions, 14 minutes ago. Starting deep in their own territory. It is a handoff and a nice stop from the Pointers' defensive front.
The Pointers' defense have just been playing exceptional all day. They're getting to the ball quickly. I know that last drive wasn't really an identity of what they are, but the previous drives, they've been great. They got to get back to what they know best, and that's getting to the ball quickly.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Murray with the hard count. Now here's the snap. Back-to-back inside runs and stood up.
Exactly what I said. Truttle there with his 24th carry
Woo-wee.
of the game. He's really getting the workload as he finally is going to take a break here as the backup running back, Nevin Dent, comes back into this game. So 3rd and 6 now for Albion. And if I'm going to be honest, I think you got to go to Cameron Moore here. He made the big grab on the previous drive to get him into that end zone. We'll see if they do it again. Murray should be looking his way, as I believe it's going to be one-on-one coverage. Maybe the safety will drop back. I guess we will see. Here we go.
3rd and 8. Murray takes the snap, looking to the far side of the field, throws that way. Got a man wide open. He will get the first down.
He just got it. The tight end, Connor Davey, sneaking out and making the grab, and Murray knew exactly where he was going from the snap of the
absolutely.
football.
It was smart because it was a soft zone, but the Pointers playing deep, expecting the deep ball. It's what happened in the last drive. You allow the tight end to spill in the flat. The Pointers just couldn't get there in time. Nice play. Continues the drive for Albion.
Well, you saw the zone go all the way to the right when the pass was completed to the left.
It is a handoff, bouncing it to the outside, getting a couple yards out of that.
I'm starting to notice here, you kind of see when Albion's going to throw the football. Truttle is usually in there as the primary running back, but when it comes to a pass, I mean, the backup running back, Nevin Dent, comes in, and he's more of an efficient pass blocker than Truttle is.
2nd and 9 now. Murray is in the shotgun with the back lined up to his right. It is a play action. He wants to go deep. Has protection. Down the field. It is incomplete. Trying to get it to Cameron Moore, who had the nice big catch on their last drive. That was huge. He had the separation. But either way, it is now 3rd and 9.
And it had me a little worried, Jacob. He beat the initial corner who decided to back it off to his safety. The safety then goes to one-on-one coverage. He makes the big play. If he doesn't stop that, that's an easy walk-in touchdown for Cameron Moore. And way to communicate on defense there between the corner and the safety.
3rd and 9. Looks like the Pointers show blitz. They bring it from the outside. Murray going deep. Incomplete. Way overthrown. 4th down. Do they go for it?
I think you got to go for it, Jacob. There's only 11 minutes left, but they're going to punt it.
Yeah, Murray heading to the sideline. The special teams unit coming onto the field.
The Pointers got to be aware of a fake here. If there's a time to run a fake special teams play, it's now. It has to be now. But this is I feel like this is a good decision here by Albion, punting it away, forcing the Pointers to go all the way back in their territory, but you can't have a touchback here.
It's been a well-coached football game. I believe they've got everything prepared for right now. But on 4th and 9, it will be a legitimate punt, close to being blocked. And they're going to let it with the Peter call. Rolling out of bounds around the 6-yard line.
And that's
a nice kick.
And that's exactly what you wanted there from that punt. Like I said, you can't have a touchback here. forces the Pointers at the 6-yard line. And now back-to-back drives now. You can't have a 3-and-out. You can't have a fumble. Back-to-back possessions. You have a fumble. When it came from Cashin, resulted in a touchdown. Got a little bit away with one from the fumble from Smith. Can they do something here with their second possession of the fourth quarter?
So here's the special formation. Center and wideout lined up, but Pointers got to be careful. They're deep in their own territory, very deep. Charlie Smith lined up under center, takes it. It is a run up the gut. Nice gain. And looks like they'll give it to him. No.
Zach Lynch again with the ball carry. And Lynch has been
Gain of 9.
Gain of 9. He's been more of that second running back than Reed Smith has. But I'm
Yeah.
liking what they're doing, though.
Yeah.
They're handing off to Cashin a few plays. Yes, he fumbled, but he's been pretty much an exceptional running back today. Then Reed Smith gets it here and there to throw an offset kind of thing, and now Zach Lynch is thrown in there.
Continuing to keep this one on the ground. Short gain here, but they'll give him the first down. I don't imagine they're going to pass. They want this clock to be run down. The run game has been pretty solid so far by the Pointers.
And you see it in the NFL all the time. The more exceptional running backs you have, it ends up working. You saw it with the 49ers a few years ago. They had 3 exceptional running backs, and it worked out very well. Led them all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You need a dynamic backfield if you want to do all these trick plays and then alleviate time to allow the pass. Here's a pitch, and it's well read by the Albion defense. So it is second down. Again, trying to run the clock, but still under 10 minutes. We're a long way from timeout territory.
Exactly. I agree. I feel like you got to save those timeouts for as long as you can if you're Albion. You can't use it on something that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Pointers have already used 2 of their timeouts. Albion has used none for the second half.
Here's the Wildcat once again.
Run up the gut. Won't get much.
Whoa. A late hit there
Yeah.
from the corner.
It's getting chippy out there. So it results in a third down. Decision time for the Pointers. Do you keep it on the ground? Do you do an outside run? Do you do a jet sweep, a kind of motion to throw them off? Do you do a quick throw? Do you do a screen? There's a lot of different decisions that you can make. It's only 5 yards.
It's tough, but Jacob, I feel like you got to go with something they're not expecting. That's a deep shot.
Yeah, I think, yes, I like the deep shot idea. A quick pass. I don't like that if it is on the ground. I would throw here.
Exactly. I think it's going to be a short.
And they will. Smith looking to the near side. Nice protection. He is going deep, Brett. And it's broken up. Incomplete. He wants the flag, but will not give it. Devin Buskin breaking up the pass. Nice play, and it's fourth down.
And like I said, Jacob, I think the deep pass was the right call there.
I agree.
Something to throw him off. Yes, it was a triple man coverage on the wide receiver, Andrew Miller, as he couldn't make the grab. But I think that's the best possible outcome there from the Pointers, is to try and go for something they're not expecting. So now they're going to punt it away. We're under 9 minutes left to go in this one. The Pointers currently up 21-7. Can the defense get it done?
Just over 8.5 minutes. Not a ton of time. Or I should say plenty of time. And now, see what happened here.
And I believe it's going to be a timeout called by the
Yes,
By
the
the
Pointers
Pointers.
call all 3 of their timeouts in the second half. They have none left to use. Now, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them later. You don't like making those early, but to me that tells me they're confident enough that they can finish this game without having to use any of those. The only quote-unquote timeout they would have left to use is the 2-minute warning, but that's for both teams.
And I think going into this possession, you got to rely on your big 3. You got Xander Pop. He needs to play great, which he's been doing all game. Joe Behrens, the other inside linebacker, next to Paul Morris. I think the 2 inside linebackers have been the key guys to this defense for the Pointers. They're really getting everywhere. They are the initial hits most of the time, and that's exactly what you want out of your 2 starting linebackers. So I think if you continue with that, they'll be just fine, and they'll be on their way to a 1-0 record.
I mean, whatever happens here, not only a very nice spread-out defense, I'm really liking this linebacker room.
Me too. I think they're a very exceptional group.
On 4th and 5, they punt it. Nice deep punt. Lands at about the 31. That's where Albion will return it. Breaking free and finally tripped down near midfield. A nice return, and that's where the Britons will start.
And the long snapper, Grant Kirsch, making the tackle.
Hey,
You
there
don't
we
usually
go.
see that, but shout out to Grant Kurtz making the play.
Hey, anyone on the special teams can make the tackle. It's all about getting there, driving with your hips, bringing your arms, and that was a nice tackle. You know, you can be
Exactly.
anyone on the field and make the play, and he was there to do it. But for now, it's 1st and 10 for Albion from their own 49-yard line.
You got to watch out for the wide receivers here. They're going to start throwing the ball a lot more. Moore's been the guy for Albion, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Johnson at all.
It is a play action. Here is the throw, and it is caught by Cameron Moore.
Yeah, Moore's been getting open quite a lot here, and I think the Pointers need to go to a more of a flat zone defense. He's getting a lot of short routes. Yes, he's had a couple big plays, but I think especially now with it being under 9 minutes and they're going to be tempo offense with a lot of short throws, you got to go towards more of a, low coverage zone defense.
Another play action. Quick throw again for Moore. And it is ruled as another catch. So Cameron Moore, back-to-back receptions. And just like you said, back-to-back quick outs. I think the Pointers are playing a little too soft.
They're playing a little bit of a drop-back man-to-man defense, and I don't think that's going to be working because eventually the corners are going to bite on a short route,
Absolutely.
and Moore's just going to turn it right up the field, and it's going to be a wide-open touchdown on a hitch route. A deep shot.
You know this game well, Brett. Murray looking to throw. Going deep to a wide open man, and it's overthrown. It was blown coverage, and Ollie Murray could not take advantage.
I threw my sheets up in the paper. I threw my paper up in the air, Jacob. I really thought I basically called it. They are expecting short passes, and sure enough, he gets on the outside, and Allie Moore just misses him by a couple feet. And you can't have that right now. That is what you needed. It would have been a one-possession game, but now you're stuck on a 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Lucky break for the Pointers. It is a run. Breaking out of some tackles, and down inside the 30 is the back. He is still short of the line to gain. Coming up here on a big 3rd down.
And Truddle is over the 100-yard mark carrying-wise. Yes, he has about almost 30 carries, but 100 yards in this type of ball game is
big.
exceptional. Yes.
Absolutely. Big 3rd down.
So kind of what we saw, more man-to-man coverage. I wouldn't be surprised if the corner cuts him off to the safety.
It is a run. Bursting free, he will get the 1st down. Initially, the contact would have stopped him, but he kept moving his feet. He wouldn't be tackled. He denied it. And Albion continues their drive.
I think right now, after especially that big gain, it's 1st and 10. You got to get the clock stopped. I think go with a pass here.
Oh, strange snap. It is a run. Slips out of the tackle for a second, only got about an extra yard or so.
And that clock is just ticking. You can't keep on relying on your run game. Yes, it's probably been your biggest, spot in this game, but eventually you got to go away with it. And like I mentioned before, when Truddle comes out, that's usually when we go to the pass game. The backup running back is currently in for the Britons. It's Jerome Turner, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go towards the middle here for a pass.
On 2nd and 8, trying to get him on the hard count. Now here's the snap to Murray. He's going to throw it. Fires near side. It is caught by Cameron Moore. He is absolutely decimating the secondary. I mean, he's just playing very well on the near side of the field. That's been his spot.
And if I'm the Pointers, you got to go to a little bit of a better zone defense. You're just letting him get these catches, and it's been working pretty consistently. That's his 3rd 5-yard out route catch of the drive, and it's just been working so well.
Here's a run, and nice play. The Pointers respond there after letting up another first down. A sweet tackle made.
Yeah, Joe Barron's there once again, and we haven't been talking about the linebackers a little bit here besides when I mentioned that they got to be the big guys to step up. They have been non-existent in the last couple quarters here, so they got to make the big plays, and I wouldn't be surprised here if they're going to go to Cameron Moore here. It's a 2nd and 11.
TFL for Joe Barron's. Now it's 2nd and 11. Off the play action, Murray to the end zone. It is caught, and it's a touchdown. Cameron Moore.
And sure enough, Jacob, what did I just say about 20 seconds ago? Not even. Cameron Moore, 10-yard out route, makes the grab, gets the foot in. He's got exceptional footwork. I'm going to give props to him. He's done it not only once but twice now, this time for a touchdown. And here comes the Britons. One possession game. We're under the 5-minute mark, and we're starting to shake up here in the booth.
Extra point attempt is good. It is a 7-point game here at Gerke Park. Cameron Moore, exceptional route running as well. Had 4 catches on that sole drive, and now it's a 1-possession game. The Pointers defensively have probably been worn out. Nobody's fault. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, and now the offense preparing with under 5 minutes to go just needs to run this clock down.
Exactly, and I think, yes, Bryson Cashin did have a fumble. Yes, Charlie Smith did have a fumble. You got to go what you do best, and I think you got to go to Bryson Cashin here. You got to go to at least him 1st and 2nd down, get that clock under 3 minutes, and then you got to go to that pass. I think, realistically, you got to go to Phillips. Phillips has been, he's your tall guy. He can make the big play. I don't know. It's tough now, especially with Albion only being down by 1 touchdown now.
I think the turnovers are the biggest part. What happened when the Pointers had the 3 turnovers, 21-0? The back-to-back offensive drive for the Pointers, Bryson Cashin fumble, Charlie Smith fumble. What happened? Back-to-back scores for Albion. So that's really the story of this game. Pointers still leading in that statistical category, but they need to stamp on this drive. Kick is away. Straight down the field, and he's going to field it from the 10. Having some patience for his blockers. Now bursting through. Breaking free. Look at this. One man to beat. Bryson Cashin to the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Pointers.
There is a flag, Jacob. There's a big hit on the kicker. I don't think it was a flag-worthy call.
Oh, man.
No way that was a block in the back, but Bryson Cashin, as it stands right now, takes it all the way to the house. And we'll see if they stick with the call here. Bryson Cashin, just when we were talking about him, and here we go.
Oh, man. So you heard it. Offsetting penalties on both teams, which means you'd have to replay it. So they're going to have to re-kick it, and that is going to be huge. They're showing the replay on the board. I will say I didn't initially see a block in the back. I mean, that's what they called it. I might have missed it.
And after everything that has happened in the last 2 quarters, everybody would just completely forgot about that if that call stand.
Yeah.
If that was a kick return touchdown, that would have sealed it. But now we're going to restart. Bryson Cashin on that kick return, he did kind of the Le'Veon Bell, just kind of waited for
my
his
goodness.
It was beautiful.
The insane patience, but also rebounding from his fumble.
Oh, yes.
That would have been phenomenal for him, and you know he's going to want to do it again. We'll see how they kick it. It was a long drive kick from Albion, so here is the re-kick, and it is a long drive again. This time has more air and will fall in the end zone for the touchback.
They didn't want no kick return touchdown this
No,
time,
they didn't.
Jacob.
He just booted it to the end zone. Wow.
All right, back to what we were talking about before. Yes, the Pointers need to run it a couple times here. You got to get that clock going down. Albion, do you start using the timeouts, Jacob?
Not yet. I'd say once you get under 3 minutes or around the 3-minute mark, I would start to. So for the next minute, I wouldn't say use them yet.
I think you give it at least one first down. If the Pointers
That's true.
get a first down, maybe not on the first play, if they get it after, 3 snaps, then they finally get the first down, then I think going into that next 10-yard possession.
So they start the quick tempo. It is a Wildcat. Brian Cashin takes it himself. He wants revenge after his missed or non-opportune touchdown. He will get a couple of yards on the carry.
The clock's going to run down. The Pointers got to just run it every single play. So it takes about 30 to 40 seconds off per play, I would say. Or maybe a little bit less.
Yep,
but
about that. It's a 40-second play clock, and, the play clock starts when the first play ends. So they're letting it run down a little bit. Obviously, they're taking their time, like you said. They want this to run as fast as they can. They're not doing quick tempo. They're going to meet in the huddle. So now with under 4 minutes to go on second down, they switch it up after the audible. Charlie Smith now lines up under center. Takes the snap. Will throw. And he's sacked. Dropped down by Albion.
getting there to the ball quickly was Alex Olenek. Making the play. He read that perfectly. He knew exactly what Smith was doing. He knew he wasn't handing the ball off. And Alex was just there to make the play. And here we go, Jacob. It's 3rd and 13. What do? Do you run it? And I think if you run it here, Albion's got to take a timeout no matter what.
Yeah,
if you pass it here, it can go both ways. But I think you got to go with the pass here because you know Albion's going to call timeout.
They have the wideouts, but I think they're trying to catch him off guards. I think it will be a run. They are in the Wildcat formation once again. Cashin fakes and runs it up the middle himself, driving ahead, but still nowhere near the sticks. It will be 4th down.
And they're not going to call a timeout.
They're not. They're letting this run. So now Albion has the 2-minute warning and all 3 of their timeouts to spend. This is big. This was a 21-0 game.
And this is exactly what you don't want to see for the Pointers. I mean, if you're another YX school and you're watching this game, you're seeing the weaknesses that the Pointers have. And it's starting to show here in the last couple quarters that they can't finish a ball game. Their first half was exceptional, and now it's just been kind of basically in that second half.
Well, even though the offense is stalled, there are a couple other factors to include. I'll mention them in a second after the punt. Nice high flyer. Return from the Britons at the 2 after he slipped, runs into his own man, and now stumbles to the 40. And look at this. There's a Pointer down on the field, and there was a Pointer and a Briton going at each other a little bit.
Down on the field right now is Ethan Bump, the defensive back, sophomore from Eau Claire. As we can go and look at.
But really quick, I will say, while the Pointers have had a bit of a rougher second half, it is still the start of the season. You know, you have such a successful first half, and honestly, I think some of the mistakes can be a little bit glossed over, not saying that they aren't mistakes. That first fumble from Cashin was a straight fumble. That second one from Charlie Smith was a little interesting. We couldn't really see what happened, but very quickly, right after the play ended, Albion runs away with the ball to the sideline, and obviously there's no instant replay, so we just have to trust that it was a fumble, and that's what they called it. And it's good to see that the Pointer, who was hurt, helped up by the trainers, walking out to the other sideline. Look at this. His teammates coming to help him out. You love to see it. The chemistry. I mean, they spend time with each other every day, not just at practice or the locker room, but also in the classroom, in socializing time. But now, just over 2 minutes to go.
And if I'm Albion, you know who you're going to. You're going to
Cameron Moore.
As much as possible, you're going to go. The Pointers, yes, you have to play back. You can't allow any big plays, so Moore's just going to do his thing, 5-yard out routes, and it reminds me of Michael Thomas with the slants, but it works.
Biggest 2 minutes of the game. It is an end around, met up in the backfield, and the tackle is made. Thrown down at the 30.
What a big play there from Joe Behrens, the inside linebacker. Like we said, Jacob, we've been talking about them a lot. They're the big keys of the play. And a timeout's going to be called.
No, it's the 2-minute warning.
Excuse me, 2-minute warning. As it'll be a 2nd and 10. Joe Behrens saw it right from the get-go.
That was Very astutely read. But not only is it the 2-minute warning, but now that changes the factors, because the fact that they lose yards, I mean, they lost almost 10 yards on that TFL. So that was major. It's not like a 2-yard sack or you lose 1 yard on a little, broken down screen. It's 2nd and 19. So I would say unless they try to do back-to-back big runs, realistically that's not what they're going to do. They're going to try to pass, and unfortunately for them, that's not going to run down the clock. So let's say successfully right here, if they go for a deep shot, and let's say Cameron Moore runs all the way to the end zone and scores a touchdown, that's great. It probably ties the game. However, you're leaving too much time on the clock for the Pointers. But then again, the Pointers have also used all 3 of their timeouts. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Exactly. And I think right here it's 2nd and 20. Yes, it's a big shot. You're probably thinking it's going to be a deep shot. I don't think so. I think you got to go with a short pass, maybe a run. You got to get as many yards as possible because realistically, you have 3 more downs.
Here we go, 2nd and 19 with 2 minutes to go. Murray takes the snap, stepping up in the pocket. Now he fires. It is caught by Moore, brought down on the tackle by Cutter Dalkey. So a nice gain. It's still 3rd down. It's 3rd and 6 to go. They're hurrying it up.
Sure enough, Cameron Moore getting across the middle. Short gain, like I said, but definitely beneficial.
Minute 40 on 3rd down. Murray looking deep. Quick throw near side. Got a man wide open. Can he get there? He will.
They're going to keep the clock stopped.
Whoa.
Wow. But getting outside for the flat on the check down.
They might call it just short.
Connor Davey.
It's close.
And nope, they're moving the chains. No, maybe.
No, it's going to be 4th and inches, it looks. We're still
Wow.
waiting for the call.
4th and inches. 4th and inches is the call.
Here we go.
Never mind. They are moving
Now
the
they
sticks.
move the sticks.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so now it's 1st and 10 from midfield. It is a run. Breaking through tackles, brought down by 3 different Pointers. A nice gain of about 6 yards.
And we're under the 130 mark. It's go time here for Albion. The Pointers gotta play. I think you gotta play zone defense here.
They're still holding on to all 3 of their timeouts. Quick snap. Murray looking to the far side of the field. Blasted as he threw. It's caught by Moore. Brought down. Nice play made.
And eventually you can't go to Cameron Moore every single play. The Pointers are expecting it. Yes, it's working right now. But when it comes down to it, we're under a minute now.
Wow.
They're going to go to Moore in
They're
the end
not
zone.
calling a timeout. Clock is running under a minute. They still have all 3 to use, Brett.
I know.
Murray,
from
the quick
30s.
toss. And brought down. They
Now you
got to
call
call a timeout.
Yep, timeout is
Oh,
called.
my goodness.
I think here, obviously, it's 40. We're going to say 44 seconds left.
Albion calls their first timeout of the second half.
So 44 seconds left to go. You know who's going to go to. It's going to go to Cameron Moore. But the Pointers are expecting it. You know this. You know the Pointers are expecting Cameron Moore to be the guy. But I think you still have Jalen Johnson. Albion, you can't go away from him. Yes, he had that big drop. He's still a good wide receiver.
You know he's got the speed, and we've seen it from his returns. He has the vision.
Exactly.
He
So-
has the opportunity to make. They got 2 of those big wideouts, and, they still have 2 timeouts to use, so it's not like they couldn't run it anymore.
So if I'm the Pointers here, I'm doing exactly what I've been doing the last couple quarters. I'm playing back zone coverage. You're letting the flats be open. You're letting those short gains that Cameron Moore has been consistently catching on. And you just got to let that happen, and eventually the clock's going to run out. They're going to be out of timeouts. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, you're just relying on them on their speed efficiency, and honestly, I agree with that because you give up an end zone shot and it's tie game, rather than if you try to have them chip down. There's only 44 seconds, Brett. So here we go, 2nd and 5 to go, 1 possession game, under a minute left. Murray to throw. It's a screen over the middle, has some room and brought down. Inside the 20, another first down. Albion uses their second timeout.
And it was Alex Trudell on the screen pass, and he's been getting most of the balls here. They are not calling
They didn't call a timeout. They're running it. Murray on the play action. Quick throw. Another screen. Has the space. Brought down around the 5-yard line.
And here's the timeout, Jacob. So
And now here's the timeout. It's
so
1st and goal.
if I'm the Pointers, you know you're going to throw. I feel like they're going to throw here. They're going to go to Cameron Moore. This is exactly what the Pointers want. I think you have one timeout left. It's 1st and goal. You go to Truttle.
Yeah.
You got to go to Alex Truttle. Give him the handoff. See what happens. See how close as he gets. And then you have 3 more downs to throw it.
Man, this is an intense final minute or so. Now only 24 seconds left. A lot of opportunities. Cameron Moore is being the big, flashy wideout for this Albion team here in the second half. On their last scoring drive, had 4 big catches, including the touchdown to make it a 1-possession game. The Pointers defensively had a sensational first 2.5 quarters or so, but unfortunately a couple of fumbles from their offense has given them less time to recover. It is now 1st and goal from the 6. Only 1 timeout left for Albion.
I feel like realistically they're going to do something that the Pointers haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
They've got to go with something that
I think throwing to
hasn't
Moore is too obvious.
I feel like throwing to Moore, I feel like handing it off to Truttle is way too obvious here. But I think with it being 1st and goal with 1 timeout left, you got to go to Truttle here no matter what.
Game on the line for this opener. Murray in the shotgun with the back lined up to his left. He keeps blasting as he throws it. No, he didn't get the throw off, and he looks hurt. Murray gets back up. Albion forced to use their final timeout.
As the fans are getting loud here, a big hit from the outside linebacker. Charlie Anderson, actually the defensive back, making the play.
Wow, big-time DB sack.
Not
making
even a
his
sack.
defense
It's
proud.
just he was just there. I
Wow.
don't even think it was a sack. So still have a timeout left. It's 2nd down. You got to hand off the ball. You still have a timeout left.
Yes. Quick snap. Murray looking, stepping up, throws, caught, touchdown! Albion. Oh my goodness.
And the last possible read is there, the tied end
Wow.
for Albion. Dylan Dennison, the slot wide receiver was there. Murray was rolling outside the pocket. Nobody was open. Throws across basically his shoulder, kind of steps back because he's a lefty.
Big time extra point. And he nailed it. So instead of trying to go for 2 to win the game, they go for 1.
And like
Ladies and gentlemen, this looking like overtime.
Exactly. And like I was saying, he was rolling outside the pocket. He's a lefty quarterback to the right side. What do you got to do? You got to kind of throw with that weird motion where you're turning your body, and that's what a lot of the workouts that you do is a lot of movement between your
The Dak
hips.
Prescott.
And the Dak Prescott, exactly. And it worked out perfectly. Murray did exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation. You go through your progressions, and eventually you find the last one, kind of throws it back across his body, finds the wide open Dennison as he scores the game-tying touchdown. And now with 13 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter, like you said, Jacob, I believe we are going to overtime, depending on what's going to happen here.
Now, they already quote-unquote had the kick return touchdown taken away, which instead of making this a 2-possession game and potentially a win in regulation, now forces a tie game heading into overtime, probably. You know, still 13 seconds left, so they could try another kick return touchdown. Let's see who they've got back there. They've got
it should be Cashin and
Bryson
Zach Lynch.
Cashin
both
and
running
Zach
backs.
Lynch. You're right.
So I think here what you're doing for the Pointers, if it's a short kick, you got to obviously take it. You're going to have 1 shot to the end zone. Otherwise, the Pointers have no timeouts. Realistically, you got 1 attempt to get to the 50-yard around the 50-yard line and get out of bounds, and then a shot to the end zone.
Kick is away, and it's a squibber.
Goes to Joe Behrens.
Behrens, the linebacker, brought down at the 40. So no timeouts left for either team.
And you have there's only 9 seconds left,
Right.
so I feel like you have an attempt to get a little bit closer for a chance at the end zone.
I think this is deep ball.
I think this is a deep ball here, but you got to get out of bounds no matter what. I feel like you got to go quick short pass here. I say a 5-yard, 7-yard out route here to either Andrew Miller or Phillips.
So
otherwise, go to the end zone.
Here we go. 1st and 10, 9 seconds left, no timeouts. Smith in the shotgun, takes the snap, he wants to throw it. Stepping up, rolling out, throws to the out, it is caught. Is he out of bounds
He is.
before the time
I
expires?
believe there's 1 second left.
Wow, so time expired. The Pointers couldn't get it off. And we are heading to OT.
In the first game of the season, Mr. Spurl. Wow.
A great game. Obviously, a very sensational comeback for this Albion Britons team. I mentioned it at the top. The Pointers are 2-0 at home against this university since they've started playing each other in the last decade. As the officials come to meet, of course, both teams are going to take their respective captains to meet in the middle of the field and do a coin flip to determine who receives the football.
And I think here, no matter who gets the football, so it's college overtime rules, so they each are going to get a possession, I believe, right?
We'll make sure it is D3, so I'm not sure if they do the same as Division I, where they've done in the last couple of years, where if you get the ball, you start at the 20. I believe it's played as like standard regulation, where it's natural kickoffs and you start from where you field it. So we'll look to see Albion's captains out on the field. Pointers preparing. Great game.
Oh, yeah.
Great
An
game.
exceptional game from both teams. Really, realistically, it was all UW Stevens Point first half, and then you started seeing Albion chipping away, and finally they tie the game up, and now you go to overtime with a chance to win it after being down 21-0.
So you heard the call. Tails is what it was for Albion. They won the toss.
So I think if you're the Pointers here, you got to start off with Cashin. Bryson Cashin gets the ball here, and then you go from there. I feel like the running game has been way more better,
Yes.
especially with the way they've implemented the wing T formation. I think it's a better option to go with a running game to start and then go from pass from there.
Now, for anyone watching at home, the reason why Albion won the coin toss and decided to defer to start is because they get an opportunity to score no matter what. Even if the Pointers score a touchdown here, Albion gets a shot. So here we go. Pointers started off from the opposing 25. It's first down, and it's a direct snap to Cashin. Running up the middle, getting a few yards out of it. You were right, Brett. The first play was to Bryson.
Cashin takes it up the middle, gain of 5.
So I also want to clarify for anybody at home, if the Pointers don't score in this drive here, but then if Albion scores in the next drive, they win, no matter what.
No matter what. But the Pointers, I believe they got to go for 2, if I'm correct, or was that for the second?
That's for the second overtime.
Okay.
So if neither can convert or if they both tie, the second overtime is where they go for 2. So for now, it's still standard. It's 2nd and 6. Smith under center. It is a handoff and a few yards gained. I believe it was Cashin who was the back.
Yep,
It was.
Cashin.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 to go.
And I think right here, you got to hand it off to Cashin one more time, because no matter what, I feel like the Pointers are going to go for on 4th down. I feel like this is too big of a moment to not go for 4th down, because they can kick a field goal. I'm not sure really how this works.
They can kick the field goal, but if Albion scores a touchdown the next drive, they win. It is a toss play to Cashin. He's got the angle, and he should get the yardage for the first down. He will.
So now, 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line. I think I go for a pass. I think you got to change something up as an Albion player looks
He's down
to be
on the sideline. So I think it is important to note the time will not roll in this in these new overtime rules, it is just based off of drive and yardage. Seems like that Albion player is okay. So a new set of downs. The Pointers will continue here from the opposing 15-yard line as they're in the huddle.
I think a great play option here would be like a jet sweep.
I agree.
I feel like to the opposite side of the field
Yes.
and get something going. We haven't seen it in a while. We've only seen it a couple times.
Smith in the shotgun with Cashin lined up to his right. It is a jet sweep, Brett. Oh, but they read it quite well. There he is again, Alex Olnick with a big tackle for loss.
And like you said, Jacob, I did call that a jet sweep was a perfect idea.
But you weren't the only one predicting
No,
it.
I wasn't the only one, Jacob. No, I was not. That was a great play call. It just didn't work, unfortunately. And now a second and very long
Yes.
for the Pointers. And this is getting to the point where what do? Do you hand it off, try and get some extra yards, or do you try and throw for the first down?
Smith going to throw. Pressure coming. Gets it off. It's a screen. High and bobbled. Got the room. And he's brought down at the 10.
And what a great
Wow.
play call there.
That was.
A tight end screen, the last thing you were expecting. Elijah Mott with the grab, barely caught it, by the way. Was almost overthrown by Charlie Smith. Does retain it, though. And now a 3rd and 5. What do you think they should do here, Jacob?
I don't know. I mean, I love the, like you said, I love the play call, and it wasn't a screen to the outside. It's a screen up the seam. So I like that. But on 3rd and 5 here, I want a quick out. And look at this. They're going to have trips left, 3 receivers lined up on the left side, the far side of the field. So it's 3rd and 5 to go. Pointers need it. Smith
Blitz is coming.
rolling out to his left. Sidearms it, and it's caught down at the 5. It'll be close, but it looks like they'll give him the first.
Wow, what a play there from
Wow.
Charlie Smith as an injury for Albion has occurred once again. But Charlie Smith rolling outside to his left. He's got to get something going here. Finally, exactly what kind of Murray did on the last drive, but this time Smith throws a little bit of a sidearm
Yes.
pass. Looked a little bit Mahomey.
All
We're
right,
bringing that
we're bringing
back
that back.
No, but yeah, sidearm pass gets the first down.
And we're glad to see that the Albion player limping off the field, he seems to be all right. But a sensational throw. Looks like he was going to go for the end zone. It was dangerous. Throwing the flat, or throwing it in that underneath area, there was at least 2 Britons in it, but he got it right to his man.
And it just goes with Charlie Smith, what he's been doing this game. He's been exceptional. He's played exactly the way he's supposed to play. And I think overall, he's definitely going to be one of the names you talk about when the game concludes.
So here we go. 1st and goal from the 5. Direct snap. Run up the middle from Cashin. Decent drive inside the 5. It's 2nd down and goal situation.
They've ran that Wildcat
lot.
quite a bit, but it's
Yes.
been working. You saw, a couple quarters ago they ran it, and Bryson Cashin broke out for a big gain of 30. So it has worked. It will work, but the moments they've been running it in have been a pretty good play call.
Absolutely.
And here's that fast tempo center
So it
wide
was
receiver.
3 yards on the carry for Cashin. It's 2nd and goal from the 2. Charlie Smith under center. It is a handoff to Cashin, and he is no signal. Yes, there it is. Touchdown Pointers.
And finally, the Pointers get back in the end zone on a 3-yard rush from Bryson Cashin, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. And now the Pointers awaiting the extra point and the defensive possession. We'll see if they can pull it off here. They need 1 stop, and that will be it. So you're going to get 4 downs no matter what for Albion when it comes to be their offensive possession. But here's the kick.
Kick is up and good. 28-21. Nice start to this overtime period for Stevens Point. And I will say, they kept it simple. They didn't overcomplicate it. Just run the dang football. And that's what they did on the last play. Just a simple inside run to their lead back, Bryson Cashin. That's his 2nd touchdown of the day. And now Albion, they chose this. They wanted to start overtime on defense
Exactly.
and have the next drive be on them offensively.
And I think it comes along with that you get that extra down no matter what on offense. Because
Yes.
realistically, if you're the Pointers, you get stopped on a big 3rd and 20. then you're forced to kick a field goal at that point. But now Albion has that chance for that 4th down where you know you're ready going for that, and you have that in your back pocket.
Here we go. Start of this overtime drive, and looks like there was some movement. So that was just a response to anyone working in the booth over. So no penalty call, just a quick clarification from the official, the head official. So now here we go.
And Jacob, what an all-time great Spud Bowl game this one.
Oh my goodness.
And this one will be
Unforgettable.
remembered for a long time, I'm sure of it.
Absolutely. Starting off in the shotgun, it is a play action, quick toss. Pointers were there. It is a solid gain there for Albion. You saw that pressure, that blitz coming on the field side. I believe that was, oh my goodness. Might have been Barron's, I'm not sure. No, it was Carter Dahlke looking at it again. It was Dahlke, the outside linebacker, coming up with that pressure. So now it is 2nd and 6 to go after the 4-yard gain.
By Connor Davey, breaking out once again on that flag, getting the reception.
Here's the blitz. Pressure coming. It's a floater. Looking for Moore. It falls incomplete. He was wide open.
And Moore pushed off a little bit right before the ball was thrown, pushes off the corner of the Pointers, Gregory Westemere. And now the Pointers fans are getting loud.
You can hear it. The dog pound is ready to see their team go 1-0.
And like we said before, Albion's got that 4th down in their pocket now. They don't got to worry about getting the first down to this the first down on this 3rd down. You got 2 plays here.
They're trying to score. It is a run, and he will be short of the line to gain. So it'll be 4th and short, but you're right, Brett. They didn't need to convert yet.
And here we go, Jacob. Is this it, or will Albion continue this football game? 4th and 1. What are you doing here, Jacob?
Keep it simple. Inside run.
I feel like you got to go to Alex Trudell. He's been your #1 guy on offense besides Moore. I feel like this is destined to be Trudell with the ball carry, as a timeout will be called by the Pointers.
Whew. You can tell. Yes, the Pointers call the timeout. You can tell. This stadium's ready to explode. They've been waiting to see this victory. You know, all offseason they're excited to see this new Pointers campaign. You know, we talked about it, the 1-9 finish, but that's 2024 Pointers football. This is 2025 football.
Exactly.
0-0. No record yet. You know what determines the record? This play. If you stop them now, game over, 1-0. You can't have a better start. Obviously, this game didn't go the exact way you wanted it to, but it doesn't matter. It's about how you respond, and they're responding now in this overtime period.
It's not about how you start the game, and it shows from Albion. The Pointers start off 21-0. The game's never over until it's over.
Yes.
And right here, they've done a great job all game, pushing back and fighting back to tie the game, go to overtime, and you got to give props to them. But this is the defining moment for both of the teams. What will happen? We will find out right here. 4th and 1. I think you got to go Alex Trudell here.
Let's see what they do. It's getting loud. 4th and 1 to go. Play of the game.
And they got that tight formation here. It's Trudell all the way here.
Murray in the shotgun with Trudell lined up to his left. Here's the snap. It is the handoff, and he shoots through the gap. He will get the first down, so this game is not over just yet.
Oh, Jacob, just when you thought that the Pointers could finally do it, Alex Trudell says not today. Pushes right through that line and gets the first down.
Some of the interior guys went low, trying to stop Trudell's footing, but he managed to hop over them and extend, so it did trip him up, but tripped him forward to get the progression and get the first down. So here we go, 1st and 10. Murray in the shotgun once again. Pointers showing blitz.
If I'm Albion here, I think you got to do a quick pass here. Moore's got 1-on-1 on the outside.
They might go there. It is a play action. Pressure coming, and it is a sack. What a play.
And sure enough, it was the inside linebacker once again getting to the quarterback, Murray. Paul Morris has done it, got the sack, and now it's 2nd and 10 from about the 22-yard line. A big and crucial play by this Pointers defense.
Paul
It
Morris,
could impact the momentum that Albion currently has.
the junior out of McFarland, Wisconsin. So here we go from the pistol. It's an inside run, and he's stuffed. Wow. Pointers coming up big time defensively on back-to-back plays.
And that time it was Josh Kristoff. We talked about him here and there, the outside linebacker breaking through that left tackle. And the running back for the Britons, Struttle, just didn't go anywhere. Now, 3rd and long, you got to go to more
So
here.
look who they just brought in. They brought in their star return guy, Jalen Johnson, who they tried throwing deep to earlier. He had the drop, but he's lined up wide.
It's going to be zone here, Jacob, especially on that right side. I think that safety is going to drop back into the right top zone.
3rd and 17, it's a play fake. Going deep is Murray, and it's incomplete. The pass was short.
And
It's 4th down once again.
And sure enough, it was zone, Jacob, exactly what I said. Pushed off the wide receivers, let the safeties take the deep routes, and let the corners get those shallow more routes, because now you're going to the end zone. I think you take away defensive linemen, you throw in that extra cornerback, and you have at least 3 safeties back, 4 DBs, and let the rest rush.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be a ton of blitz, but if they bring it here, it might be a swift end to this offensive attack, just to make everybody aware.
But you got to watch for like something that you wouldn't expect, like
Yes.
hook and ladder or something here for Albion.
Really quick for the fans at home. Oh, timeout called by Albion. They decide to pull the trigger there and call it. But for anybody watching at home, this is 4th and 17. If the Pointers make the stop, the game is over.
Exactly. And I think no matter what, obviously they're going to go to the end zone here. The question is how are they going to draw this up? What are they going to do here to try and get a man open? Yes, it's only from the 21-yard line. I feel like that makes it a little bit more difficult compared to a 40-yard Hail Mary.
Yes.
Because you're just throwing up the ball at that point. This is from the 20-yard line. You're going to run a normal offensive play here.
Now, another thing to consider, and the game might end on this play, but let's say if they convert or if they even score a touchdown, that's not the end of it.
Exactly.
If they decide to go for 2 and convert, they win the game. Albion would win the game. If they go for 1, kick the extra point, and that's good, it's tied, and that would lead into a second overtime. But that's a lot of hypotheticals. It's really all down to this play right here. Does Albion go deep for the score? Do they just try to get the first down? Either way, it's a big-time play that needs to be made. So, here we go. From the opposing 21-yard line, it's 4th and 17. Murray in the shotgun. Low snap. Stepping up. Murray throwing for the end zone. It is broken up. No flags. Game over. Point wins it in overtime. 28-21.
He had the guy at the initial moment, kind of an in and crooked route, kind of breaks the end zone, kind of like that corner strike play you run in Madden. Had him at the last second, a little bit underthrown. The DB was there, batted it away, and the Pointers get their first win of the season, a 28-21 victory in overtime. What a Spud Bowl, Jacob.
What a Spud Bowl as both the teams head out in the field. Say good game, and all I want to say, we brought it up from the start of the game, the important statistics, especially considering last year's matchup in Albion. What was the deciding factor? The turnovers and the ratio. Who had the advantage in this game? It was Stevens Point. Also the home records. Stevens Point is 2-0 at home against this team, and that continues to a 3-0.
Exactly, and props to Albion pushing their way back, fighting their way back, tie up the game, going to overtime. They just couldn't get it done today, but they shouldn't be so hard on themselves. They played a great game. Both teams played great. And like I said, and I mentioned before, this is an all-time great Spud Bowl, and I'm glad I got to broadcast it with you, Jacob.
I'm glad I got to do it with you as well, Brett. An exciting finish. We mentioned it, a 21-0 start. Albion came all the way back to end it in regulation, tied up 21-21, came down to overtime. Pointers end up with the victory. We thank you all for keeping watch. If you were watching this on the WIAC Network, it was brought to you by Pointer Studios. And if you were listening, audio was brought to you by 90 FM UWSP. That is all. 1-0 for Stevens Point.